Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone to this live stream FTX Crypto Cup Day 1. This is your host Sagar Shah and a very warm welcome to everyone in the chat. What a match we have on our cards, guys. What a match. It is Alireza Firuja versus Pragnananda. क्या ही मैच है यार, क्या ही मैच दोस्तों. How are you doing, all of you? And I want to also let you know that I'm back home streaming from my home. It's amazing to stream from home. मतलब जो कंफर्ट लेवल है ना दोस्तों, वो कहीं पे नहीं है. मतलब घर का स्ट्रीम, वो घर का स्ट्रीम है. बाकी सब बाहर का स्ट्रीम, बाहर का स्ट्रीम. And we have also today the match between Anishiri and Magnus Carlsen. मतलब क्या ही मजा आने वाला है आज. Today is going to be too good. And there we see Anishiri there in the background. I think that's Anish or not. Time format is 15 minutes plus 10 seconds. पानी मिल गया दोस्तों, पानी मिल गया, पानी भर लिया है. एवरीथिंग इज रेडी. एंड यू नो गाइस, जस्ट टू टेल यू ऑल, जो लिंक पिन किया है एंड ऑल्सो ऑन डिस्क्रिप्शन देयर इज अ लिंक. देयर इज समथिंग वेरी नाइस दैट वी हैव डन विथ FTX. जो कंपनी है, इट इज इनटू क्रिप्टो. दे सेड दैट दे वांट टू ऑफर अ क्रिप्टो की and they said that they would pay some amount to us, to Chessbase India. So we said, instead of paying to us, we'll put it as a scholarship. It will be FTX Pragnananda scholarship, which people can, if you download the key. By the way, there's some issue that is happening there with Alireza Firuja, and I think his brother is there. So if you download this key, which is free, and if they get a lot of people signing up, then this 1.5 lakh का जो scholarship है, which is FTX का scholarship, we will give it to one talented student in India who is in need of funds. And Pragnananda has agreed that he will be giving it after the tournament, because we are doing this for Pragg यार. मतलब Pragg का tournament है. So I asked Pragg if he would be happy to do it, and Pragg said yes, of course, the wonderful person that he is. So that is the reason why, guys, if you all can just click on that link and download that NFT. It's actually, there are also perks of it which are written in the description. So you can just say. मैग्नस कार्लसन किधर है? एक मिनट गाइस, मैग्नस कार्लसन को लेके आते हैं स्ट्रीम पे. लेट्स सी इफ वी कैन सी मैग्नस. मैग्नस कार्लसन कहाँ है? अभी तक आया नहीं है शायद. मैग्नस कार्लसन is missing, it seems. मैग्नस कार्लसन ही नहीं आया. ओके, अनीश गिरी तो यहाँ पर है. हेलो हेलो अनीश, हाउ आर यू डूइंग? मजेदार. सागर भाई, यू शुड इनॉग्रेट FTX क्रिप्टो कप विथ पटाक शॉट. भाई पटाक शॉट क्या है? आई डोंट नो. आई हैव नो आइडिया व्हाट इज पटाक शॉट. बट देयर यू हैव अनीश गिरी. एंड गाइस, पूरा वो जो ऊपर का जो द थिंग, जो लाइटिंग वगैरह दिखता है ना, उससे मेरे को आई गेट रिमाइंडेड ऑफ चेसबेस इंडिया ओरिजिनल्स डेथ मैच. आई एम लाइक, भाई वो सब लाइटिंग वगैरह, दैट वाज टू गुड, which we tried to do. Fireworks, अच्छा. हाँ, from Sarvanand story. Okay. Got it. भाई दोस्तों, I am so busy right now that I have forgotten what many of the things. I am growing old fast. बाल वाल तो गिर ही रहे, पर मेरा याददाश्त भी पूरा खत्म हो रहा है. कोई बात नहीं. याददाश्त नहीं चाहिए कमेंट्री करने के लिए. एंड कल मैथ्स का पेपर है रक्षित सिंह, 10 बजे, और चेस भी चल रहा है. विल चेक इन रिजल्ट लेटर. अरे रक्षित सिंह, मैथ्स तुम पास हो जाओगे अगर प्रज्ञानंदा जीतेगा तो. सो लेट्स चीयर फॉर प्रज्ञानंदा. 15 plus 10, it's rapid. 15 मिनट का गेम है. 15 minutes plus 10 second increment. Today Pragg is taking on Firuja. 4 games. If 2-2 tie, it will go into tie breaks. So मजा आएगा. एंड हाँ गाइस 1 मिलियन करना है दोस्तों, 1 मिलियन। यार तुम लोग ने इन द क्या बोलते हैं, तुम लोग को क्या बोलूं, मेनी ऑफ यू वुड हैव सब्सक्राइब बट मेनी दोज आर नॉट सब्सक्राइब गाइस। इन द ओलंपियाड वी वांटेड टू मेक इट 1 मिलियन, बट कैसे हुआ, जस्ट लाइक हाउ इंडिया मिस्ड आउट ऑन गोल्ड, सेम वे वी मिस्ड आउट ऑन 1 मिलियन बाय 10,000। वी वर एट 950K, we gained 40K subscribers, but वो 10K last we missed. So my aim is that we are going to get those 10K subscribers now, and yes, 100K followers done on Instagram. So guys, thank you all those who have followed us on Instagram. Thank you chess players sports. अमृता वापस नहीं आई, अमोल जैन, no not yet. Gukesh is playing next tournament Turkish league from tomorrow I think, yeah, or from in another 2-3 days. Manasvi Mishra, Sagar bhai, get your water and charger. अरे ये रहा देखो, water is here. पानी और लेके आता हूँ थोड़ा. वॉइस प्रॉब्लम, कौन सा वॉइस प्रॉब्लम? देवाशीष उपाध्याय बोल रहे सागर भाई बहुत खुश लग रहे हो आज। अरे प्रज्ञानंदा वर्सेस फिरुजा, वो भी मायामी जाके। यू नो गाइस, देखो चेस में they all want to make chess, there are two parts of chess, one is over the board chess, second is e-sports chess. तो ये लोग थोड़ा ट्राई कर रहे हैं कि e-sports chess टाइप फील। e-sports में क्या होता है कि प्लेयर्स sit in the same room but still play on the computer, and so this is an e-sports like setup. They are there at the venue. Let me see if I can bring this in a bigger screen. हाँ देखो, they are at the venue but they are just they are playing on the computer screen. ऐसे it's they want to make chess into an e-sports, that's why they are playing on the computer. Irfan Ahmed, शाश्वत जी कह रहे Olympiad stories are my favorite series. अरे शाश्वत, that's so good to know. What are FTX fixtures, Sagar? Is Gukesh Niyal Arjun playing? No, only Pragg is playing. Magnus is playing. Today it's Magnus versus Anish and Pragg versus Firuja. पहले ही दिन पे क्या ही मैच हो गया, मतलब epic. I also want to see when is Pragg versus Carlsen. ये कब है वो देखना पड़ेगा. Guys, everyone's like Sagar is happy because Amruta is not there. ऐसे क्या यार दोस्तों, मैं हमेशा खुश ही रहता हूँ. What is this? Format है 8 players, 7 every day they will play against each other. And guys, शुरू हो चुका है. Pragnananda plays his pawn up to e4. अरे बढ़िया. Pragg has pushed his pawn up to e4 and Firuja goes e5. Okay. And then knight f3, knight c6 and Rui Lopez on the board. Oh, Berlin खेले गए and castle मारा. अब d4. Come on Pragg, go for d4. Rookie 1 मत. अरे यार प्रज्ञानंदा ने rookie 1 खेला है and bishop f1. अब ये गेम equalish, you know, this is an equalish game. Rook takes e5, of course he has to take castles, and now d4. भाई मैग्नस कार्लसन कहाँ है यार? मैग्नस कार्लसन का वीडियो ही नहीं है. Is he playing or not? Not in this meeting. Magnus Carlsen is not in this meeting. क्या ही है? Carlsen still in Bermuda party. भाई क्या ही चल रहा है ये? Oh, and Pragnananda playing his move super quick. सब preparation में है. And Firuja, देखो guys, Firuja is supposed to be one of the biggest talents in the world of chess. Correct? He has achieved so much. He's reached the candidates, and now Pragg has got a chance to face him. And Pragg is now thinking, look at Pragg, how he's thinking. Like he's like, इसको क्या खेलना? ये मेरे preparation में नहीं था. Maybe bishop c7 was a part of his prep. We should quickly. Oh, and he goes knight f5, attacks the bishop. Guys, things can heat up really quick, yeah, in this. Bishop g5, good move. I was thinking if bishop f6, maybe it's not the best because of queen e2 with the idea of knight e7. So he played bishop g5 and now d3 by Pragg. Again, seems like Pragg is in his prep. d5, attacking this knight. Hans qualified. No, Hans, I think he has got the wild card perhaps. I'm not sure. So now this knight is hanging. Narendra Bhatt make 1 million on 75th Independence Day. Narendra Bhatt जी आज 1 million करना तो मुश्किल है, but जितने लोग सब्सक्राइब कर सकते हैं, please do subscribe. When we reach 1 million, we are going to do something very interesting. Oh, check. मार देगा, बिशप मार देगा, प्रज्ञानंदा बिशप मारेगा. Because नहीं तो नाइट क्या कर क्या रहा है दोस्तों? What is the point of having the knight here? भाई सब लोग 76 बोल रहे हैं, 75 जो भी है, 75 years हो चुके हैं ना, बस 75 years of independence. 76th Independence Day रहेगा, but we have finished 75 years. Oh, Pragg versus Carlsen is round 7. Last one. Manasvi Mishra, thank you for that information. Amazing. Amazing. And on last rounds, we are also going to have someone from our Chess Base India team go to the venue last do round mein, and they are going to cover it in Miami. C4 played by Pragg. Now, what Pragg is saying to his opponent, Firuja, is like, bhai, you have a very strong center. Okay? My bishop wants a which kind of position, guys? Open or closed? Can anyone tell me? Open, correct? I want it open for my bishop. So Pragg is saying कि भाई closed नहीं रखना है, open करेंगे. We will open it up. And now Pragg has 15 minutes 58 seconds. Firuja has 16 minutes 17 seconds. A very interesting thing to see here would be कि भाई कितनी बार ये खेला गया है. So if we go and check our ChessBase 16 reference database and we make the moves here, then you will see that this position has been reached in how many games? Bishop b5, knight f6, castle, knight e4, rook e1, knight d6, knight e5, bishop e7, bishop f1, knight e5, rook e5, castles, d4, knight e8. Correct? ये हुआ? No, d4 नहीं खेला गया, sorry. The game went differently. Pragg went knight c3, knight c3, knight e8, knight d5. Okay. Pragg went that line. So he went here, knight c3, knight e8, knight d5, bishop d6, rook e1. There are 346 games. c6, knight e3. And here the main move is 202 games, bishop c7. But he played bishop e7, which has many games. And then Pragg went knight f5, 31 games, bishop g5, and now d3, 2 games. Caruana versus Santos Ruiz is the latest game, titled Tuesday पे खेला गया है. So Pragg prepare किया है. d5, bishop g5. That's the first new move. Okay, got it, guys. Let's go back to the game. Sorasis Roy. Wow, Pragg versus Firuja. Was waiting for this match for some time. अरे बढ़िया. Sorasis, आज तो मजा ही आएगा, guys. We also should put up a poll as to who do you think will win today. And Firuja says, देखो भाई Pragg, if you take here, I will take with my knight. And then my knight will sit like a boss and no pawn of yours can kick it away. So Pragg is like, okay, I get it, Firuja. I'm not going to take it right now, but I have to activate my bishop. But before that, what I will do is I will play my queen to b3. अरे क्या ही move किया है प्रज्ञानंदा ने. Now he's attacking the b7 pawn with the white pieces, guys. It's extremely important that Pragnananda puts pressure on Firuja, because Firuja is a beast, yeah, if he starts to hit with the white pieces. So in your black games, you have to try to be solid. With white, you have to go all in. This might be the first time Pragg is facing Firuja, but I think he has played him before. It's a good question, actually. I'm going to check in my mega database. How many times has Pragg faced Firuja? Pragg, Firuja. I think they have played before. Yes. So they have played in World Olympiad under 16. Firuja won. Asian Continental, Firuja and they drew. Then Asian Continental Blitz drew. Then Title Tuesday, Firuja won. Then chess.com bullet something, Firuja won. And now NIC Classic Prelim in 2021 draw. So Pragg has never managed to beat Firuja. Wow. So that's something which is going to be important. Meanwhile, look at Anish Giri in your screen. He's sitting like this. But why? What's happening? Because Magnus Carlsen against, he's gone all out. But where is Magnus Carlsen? वो एक मूवी था ना, फाइंडिंग नीमो, वैसे फाइंडिंग मैग्नस कार्लसन. वहां पे आ रहा है दोस्तों, नो रिस्पॉन्स फ्रॉम मैग्नस. मैग्नस भाई ज्वाइन कर लो. कांट सी यू. पूछते हैं. Let's see Magnus bhai if we can find him. Magnus Carlsen. Can't find him in the call. No response from him. So e4 by Anish. Magnus bolta by g6. We'll play the modern defense. We'll bring our bishop there. Anish takes the center. Bishop g7. Knight comes out. d6. Bishop e3. Knight to f6. Knight c3. c6. Queen d2. Castle. See, this is dangerous. Yeah, if when white's king is still in the center and you castle, Anish says, I'll go all in. I'll now attack. So d5. Anish takes e5, knight e4. He takes and plays knight to g5, and he tells Magnus that look, your pawn is hanging. But Magnus says, अपने को कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता, अपन अटैक कर रहे हैं. c5 and Anish now goes d5. By क्या ही position. And look at Anish Giri, he's focusing here. Now this pawn is hanging. Look at these two central pawns. He wants to long castle, get his bishop out, maybe h4, h5. Magnus Carlsen in trouble. बढ़िया, मजा ही आ गया. क्या ही मूव. अनिश गिरी ने pawn push center में with these two strong pawns. Looking good, looking good. Gupta Abhishek says, can you explain the format? Format is simple. 8 player hai. There are 8 players. They will play each other. 7 matches, 7 games. 7 matches will happen. There will be no semi-finals, finals, nothing. Whoever scores most points will win. Bishop f5 played. Now, this is amazing, guys. Look at Anish. He can play g4, kick the bishop, and then maybe get the g5. And by the way, the format of each match is 4 games per match, 15 minutes plus 10-second increment. Colors keep rotating. In case of a 2-2 tie, 5+3 blitz, 2 games. In case of 1-1 tie, Armageddon. Okay. Who are the 8 players? अरे thumbnail देख लो दोस्तों. Who are the 8 players? Thumbnail में सारा है. We have Pragg, Anish, Magnus, Firuja, Duda, Aronian, Le Kwong Liem, Hans Niemann. Art. Okay. Bishop f5. Oh, so exciting. You know, you want to take this pawn. 1 minute, let me think. Can we go h3? But then he'll play h6. Kick this away. No, actually, Guys, what move comes to your mind? Let's see if you guys can think like Anish Giri. What is the move that comes to your mind here? Let's have some moves. Ooh, ooh, Rook G1. देखते हैं अपना चैट चेस मूव्स चल रहा है कि नहीं. गाइस स्ट्रीम डेक भी बड़े दिनों के बाद आई एम सेटिंग अप. एवरीथिंग लुक्स सो नाइस. भाई सच बोलता हूँ, घर पे जो स्ट्रीम करने का मजा है ना, टू गुड, टू गुड. मस्त चेयर है, गेमिंग चेयर है. ओ व्हाट, बिशप E6. भाई साहब क्या ही चेस चल रहा है ये. क्या ही खेला है यार मैग्नस कार्लसन. एक मिनट एक मिनट एक मिनट रुको भाई. मैग्नस भाई, अनीश प्लीज वेट, प्लीज वेट. अरे अरे चेंज हो गया, क्या ही चेंज हो गया. हाँ, सो व्हाट हैज जस्ट हैपेंड गाइस. जस्ट फिक्सिंग माय स्ट्रीम डेक. हाँ, so upon our chat has suggested everyone wanted to go G4, like everyone wanted to attack, but Anish played Rook G1. Anish is like, I'll prepare and play. तो Magnus said, भाई तेरा तो अटैक आने वाला है, I need to kick your knight away. Now remember, these top players are not going to go back. He attacks, counter attack, and he's like, if you take, I'll take your piece, and then it will be a completely mating attack. A king देखो, queen coming, rook coming, it's over, it's over. So here you might think the bishop has to move, so a normal player will go bishop C8, but then you lose the pawn and the game is over. Your pawn down, attack भी आ रहा है, F4, long castle. So Magnus finds this unbelievable move. And look at Anish, yeah, he's kind of a bit shocked or stunned. The point is, if you take here, now I will take your queen, king takes, and then take your knight. And I'm better as black, clearly better. So he can't take here, so he has to take with the knight. But after FTX E6, the position is not opening up. If you go G5, I'll push with H5, close the position. What a nice move, right? Amazing move by Magnus Carlsen. And the other point is, if you take here, then I can take queen takes D5 and just winning. I mean, just equal the position. Beautiful. Okay, let's go to Pragnananda's game to see what happened. What, Pragnananda winning? What? Queen B3, queen F4. Firuja is like, Pragg, if you want to take the pawn, please take the pawn. What is the move that Firuja had prepared in this position? Let me know, guys, if you are as strong as Firuja. Amazing move. Very simple move also. Hey, bhai, chat, kya hi? What an amazing chat I have today. Full on. Right move, knight G4. Arre, badhiya, guys, badhiya. पुष्कर ढेरे, अमोल वाघमारे, मिथुन रामलिंगम, ऋत्विक चौहान, वरुण माहिशी, पदाया, दर्श, गंधार, रैंडम नंबर एंड एल्स्टन. Well done, guys. Knight G4 and game is over. Mate yahan, game khatam. So Pragg is like, okay, Ali Reza, I understand your tricks. Go back. So Ali Reza is like, okay, Pragg, now you want to win this pawn, right? I'm going back and saving it. Now, Pragg plays his queen to A3 and he says, Ali Reza, attacking here, rook coming in on the 7th heaven, you need to be careful. Also, bishop can pop out from here. Suddenly, he goes C5. Guys, I don't know why this is a blunder, but the bar is like, it has just gone up like anything. guys, आज जितने लोग भी देख रहे हैं, our aim is 992k. We have to reach there and more. We have to reach 1 million by the end of this tournament, yaar. Come on. Tushar Chauhan is like looking like class. This looks like bullet chess after coming back from classical. So why is this a blunder? That is a good question. So the blunder is because if you take here and if you take here, okay, normal, then Prague will now play an amazing move. What is that amazing move, guys? It's actually a very simple move, but very strong. And Prague plays CD5. भाई प्रज्ञानंदा को रोको. Amazing. मत रोको. Sorry. प्रज्ञानंदा को मत रोको. What a move. Knight D5. What is the move here? Let me see if you guys have spotted it. अरे यार मैं क्लियर नहीं किया. But rook AC1 is the correct move. Attacking here to the queen. And the point is, bishop coming here, rook coming here, either attack. So many problems. D4, and all of a sudden, bishop h3, don't forget, rook has to move. You will rook c5. If you play b6, I'm going to play d4, pawn pin. That will be very bad. How many of you said rook ac1? Let me see. These are good players here. Pushkar, Saksham, Prabhat, Random, Chess Codes, Sagar Nuval, Arav Arora, Femiway, Alex, Naveen. Well done, guys. हाँ तो मजा आ गया भाई. अभी उसने मार दिया. Firuja has taken. Now Prague. Come on, rook c1. Also Prague, for Prague, bishop h3 is very tempting. Very tempting. Good place, rook c1. Prague. Amazing. Look at that. Look at Firuja. He was like, no. Oh no, this is trouble for me. Because guys, this is the problem. Remove the rook, d4, b4, all these moves coming in. Like for example, knight b4. You might think, oh, that's a nice move because it blocks the queen. But guys, then I just pop my bishop out. And if you play rook d8, why is this a blunder? White to play. Come on. Exactly. You guys are so quick here. Queen takes b4. Brilliant job done here by Arav Arora, Shreyas Gokhale, Pushkar Dhere, Vignesh Anand, Mayank Yadav, Shantum Jha, Agam Shah, Naman Khandelwal, Himanshu Bhatt. Chess Codes. Take this. You can't take here. Your queen is hanging. Amazing. Good job, guys. Good job. So now going back to this position here. Rook c1. He's still thinking. Let's quickly go and check what is up with Magnus Carlsen and Anishiri. Oh, Anishiri still having a small edge. क्या हुआ पता है गेम में? After bishop e6, Anish took this pawn. Magnus took here. Anish took. Magnus took. Anish took a pawn. Rook c8. Long castle. Wow. Okay, what's the plan if I take here? This happened. He played b4. And now Magnus had to maybe go back, but he played the move bishop f3. And this seems to be at least giving a small edge to Anish. Okay, so he's taken here. Bishop takes, and now what happened? One second. Knight d7. What? एक second. B takes c5. Bishop d1. What a move. bg2. Amazing move, yeah. Because if king d1, knight d7 would have come. But Anish finds an amazing intermezzo, bishop g2, attacking here. And then knight d7. And now, Anish, don't take this. Don't take this. First, take this. Attack the rook. So once you take this, you go here. And now you take this. And guys, what's the move here? What's the winning move for white? Of course, you guys are very strong. Arey bhai. Very quick. Amazing, guys. Pushkar, Madhesh, Arav, Amol, Vignesh, Shreyas, Mithun, Swastik, Uday, and Manpal. Well done. C6 forks the two pieces and game over, because next move I'm going to take this and my pawn will queen. So amazing. That means that Anish must take on b7 and he takes it. Anish Giri finding all the best moves one after another. Fantastic. Look at him there. So calm, cool, composed, in good form. And we have 5,000 people watching, guys. Please do like the stream and make sure that you subscribe to Chessbase India. Our road to 1 million is here. And guys, one more thing. Please do check the link in the description and in the pinned message. If you get yourself the free NFT, which is actually valuable, you can then get many of the things. It's free, completely registration. But if many people register, then there is a scholarship of 1.5 lakh rupees that FTX is going to offer. And along with Pragnananda, who is going to give it, we're going to have this scholarship for a talented youngster in Indian chess. So please do check it out and do try to register. If not now, then in the break. Okay, rook ac1, queen b6 played here. So now Firuja is like, okay, I have now this protected twice. If you attack me from here, I will defend this. It looks okay. Even that is dangerous, by the way. d4 and this is hanging. But Pragg finds even more accurate move. Rook e5, attacking the knight and the pawn. Knight to b4. Oh, d4. What a move by Pragg. What a move. Well, if you take here, what is Pragnananda's idea? भाई प्रज्ञानंदा क्या ही खेल रहा है यार, क्या ही खेल रहा है. Yes, rook b5, exactly. Rook to b5, attacking the queen and the knight. Next move I take your rook and I'll take this. You can't take here because even though you win 2 rooks, I'll take this. Pragnananda on fire, go dosto, on fire. d4, what a move. Amazing. I think Pragg's going to get Alireza here. Game number 1 perhaps will go to Pragg. But guys, you have to play accurately till the end. It's not even that you're just winning a pawn. It's like this entire position is shaky. अरे भाई सच में Firuja is his opponent. What are you saying, guys? हर्षित राजा का क्या ही असर हुआ है. Harshit Raja ko will call once, yeah, during this commentary session. He must be in India. No, he must be in US, perhaps. But d4 is a nice move, because if you take rook b5 is an excellent, and I think Firuja in big trouble. So he can't take, and there is 1 attacker, 2 attackers, 3. And also you can't push the pawn because it's just a free pawn. Your bishop is here. And now let's go and check what is up with Anish Giri versus Magnus Carlsen. So after bishop f3, no, what happened? Bishop b7. Magnus played this cool move, bishop f3. Magnus is finding so many unusual moves, yeah. Bishop takes, rook c8, because he wanted the c8 square. Wow, very cool. Because if you had taken the rook, then he would have taken with the bishop, and then this pawn would fall. So okay, he went bishop takes, rook c8, e6. How Anish finds again this amazing move. Take, Because if you would have pushed the pawn, then he would have anyway taken, right? So he first says pawn le lo, I'll spoil your structure. Then c6, knight e5, bishop e4, again a great move, knight c6, and now Anish falters here with bishop takes. Because here Anish could have played g5, h5, and then rook g3 with the idea of swinging the rook, and the rook bishop combo would have been very dangerous. But Anish actually takes on c6, rook c6. Magnus will hold this. Draw ho jayega. Arey, was very close. But let's go back to Pragg versus Firuja. Look at Pragg there. Really focusing. Anish's time was low. Yeah, that's true. But look at Firuja's time. He has only 3 minutes. And Pragg has like 8 minutes on the clock. What about knight a6, says Mahesh. Good question, Mahesh. By the way, Anish seems to have drawn his game, which is, well, okay result. He could have pressed on like better, but okay, draw is not bad. It was a great game. Many unusual moves. So if knight a6, now I can take. You take with the knight. You can't take it, no, with the knight, because I have 1, 2, and 3 attackers. You have only 2 defenders. So you can't do it. He goes knight to c6. Pragg can just win a pawn now. Guys, Pragg can just take this pawn and he's going to be happy. And you can see there Firuja extremely unhappy with his position. Look at Pragg. Pragg is thinking, क्या ही सोचता रहेगा? Because you can take here, but I think Pragg would be thinking, if I can take with the pawn, because knight takes, he can take another. Pragg might be listening to some kind of music, huh? And grooving. Pragg has takes, and Firuja dekha kaisa instantly he's now going to put pressure on Pragg. These are all tactics, huh? Once now he's putting pressure here with the knight. And now, can we go d5? कंधों से मिलते कंधे नहीं, ये तो अकेला है पॉन. यूं ही चला चल रही, यूं ही चला चल रही, कितनी हसीन है ये दुनिया. Like the D pawn is full singing. आंसू की नदियां भी है, खुशियों की बगिया भी है. Queen will then go here, and then the knight will try to come and attack. Then can we take this pawn? Just touch it. नहीं, knight f3. Oh, sorry, queen takes. अरे rook hanging है. So we can't do it. Can't do it. You have to be careful. You have to be careful here. I think Firuja is going to do that. If you push d5, he'll come here. Then he'll bring his queen here. He'll try to attack with his knight and queen. सागर भाई, अमृता नहीं तो ज्यादा ही खुल गए भाई. अमृता रहती है तो भी तो खुली. Oh, he goes d5. Now knight e5. Okay. So now what should Pragg do is the question. Because Firuja is kind of settling in to the position. He's saying that yes, I'm a pawn down, but my knight is okay, my queen can swing. Your d5 pawn, actually d5 pawn by no stretch of imagination is weak. Just go bishop g2 and hold the pawn. You just better. So now Pragg is using up his time. He's thinking here what to do. I think Pragg must decide. I think if I was playing here, I would have just played bishop g2. I know maybe it's not the best move, but you are just protecting this. I think Pragg is a very he wants everything. So he goes queen c3 and he attacks this knight. I think in order to protect the knight, you could go rook e8. That makes a lot of sense. But then suddenly bishop b5 attacks the rook. If your rook comes up, you can go to the back rank. Doesn't look good. So after queen c3, queen c3 in the game, he's played rook e8. I think Pragg will go bishop b5. Let's go Pragg. Bishop b5, attack the rook. The rook must move, but where? Rook e7, and then boom, back rank issues. Let's see if Pragg goes there. Oh, Pragg goes h3. Pragg plays a very quiet move, h3. He's like, I don't come here. Human way to play. Queen d6. Okay, nice move by Firuja, centralizing his pieces. Pragg is still clearly better. Maybe bishop g2 makes a lot of sense. But you know, the main thing in such positions is that because you have a light squared bishop, black has control on the dark squares. And it's not easy to kind of get rid of that control. Although white's pawn can at the right moment go to f4. How do you dislodge this queen? If you can't push this pawn, how will this bishop get active? So these are some of the questions that Pragnananda has to solve. He goes bishop g2, which is a good move. And now comes h5. Firuja is telling Pragg that look, if you are not careful, Pragg, I'm going to push h4 and then I'm going to come in. Why h3? I think he just wanted to make like control this square. He goes rook c7, attacking b7. Guys, game is heating up. Okay. I think h4 is a very Firuja like move. And the point is that if you go g4, this square is weakened. I want to go knight g6, knight f4. But if I go here, you will take on f7. So I will be careful. I won't play it instantly. I'll think and play. भाई प्रज्ञानंदा क्या ही फोकस से खेल रहा है ना, मतलब what focus. And look at Firuja. He's also right in the screen. By the way, between Firuja and Pragnananda, there's not a huge age gap. Just 2 years separate them. Pragg is 17. He just turned 17 when he jumped into the swimming pool. When he was thrown into the swimming pool after the Olympiad. I guess you guys would have seen that video on ChessBase India. And Firuja is 19. There is increment, 15 minutes plus 10-second increment per move. So rook c7, and now he's attacking the b7 pawn. How does black defend it? I think black can go queen b6. That seems like a normal move to play. Just keep your queen, defend this, keep an eye out here. But he goes rook b8. He defends it with his rook. I think, why don't we exchange the queens here, queen c5? Because once the queens are traded, the blockader is gone, then f4 and then f7 will be lost. I think queen c5 is the first move that comes to anyone's mind in such positions, and Pragg will play it. Pragg will play queen to c5, and once the queens are traded, he will be winning completely, because then not only does he have an extra pawn, he also has a rook on the 7th rank. He also has this pawn, and his bishop is also very strong. He goes queen a3, also very nice move. You know, this is the thing which we all have to learn from Pragnananda and these youngsters, because they are not afraid of doubled pawns. It's not looks, it's the function of the pieces which is important. Yes, these pawns look bad, they look ugly, but do they matter? It's this pawn which is going to win you the game. It's f4 with dislodging the knight and winning this pawn. That is important. So Firuja goes queen to b6. I think Firuja is like, at no way I'm going to exchange this. Someone special 447, thank you so much for becoming backer of Indian chess. That's very kind of you. Queen b6 played. By the way, guys, all of you here, whoever is present, please do check the links in the description and in the pinned message. Please do go and download that app and register on it. You will get a free NFT, a crypto key, and then you can use it for various purposes. And it also helps for us to get the FTX Prague scholarship. More people will register, the higher the scholarship will be, and we can give it to one chess player who is in need of these funds. We can also give it to more if the amount is higher, but 1.5 lakh se aur bhi upar ho sakta hai. d6, pawn pushed, the bishop opens up. That's a nice move by Pragnananda. Pragg on fire. Yeah, there's all the money will go to chess players. On Chessbase India, it goes to chess players. Yes, we don't keep it, but help us to get in more for the chess players. Queen d4 played here. I think he wants to go here, and Pragg is like, "Arey, exchange, now exchange." Because if you take on b2, f4, h5 is hanging, f7 will hang with the rook. Whoa. Queen c5, what happened? Pragg there. He's focused. He takes on b2, f4, f4, Pragg. Let's go. Let's go, f4. There's also d7. This is over, guys. d7, rook has to move. If it goes up, it's a free rook. If you go to e6, there is rook c8 check. Queen takes b2. Pragg, go, d7. Happy to support Indian chess players. Thank you for this avenue. Aresway Hill, thank you so much for being pillar of Indian chess for 14 months. That's amazing. I think what Pragg is afraid is f4. There is knight d3 with a fork. But then this is hanging now by check mein. Fir ye bhi mar raha hai. That is over. He plays f4. Let's go. Let's go. Pragnananda on fire. He's going to beat Firuja in game number 1. But guys, don't go away. It's going to be a 4-game match. It's not just one. They'll play again today. It's going to be a match of 4 games. Super fun now. That's f4. He goes knight g6. Queen takes h5. King g8. You can't win this pawn. The knight is blocking it. What's the next blow? Let's try to think how to hit. Queen f5 looks good. d7 looks good. Black has no play. Okay, his only play can be the rook coming into e2 to attack here. Can we go bishop d5 and attack here? I think Pragg's going to do it, and he does it. Bishop to d5. What a move. And guys, not only is this hanging, let's say I defend it. What's the move now? Let's quickly check chat. Are you as quick as Pragnananda in calculation? Are you as quick? You need to be super quick. Of course you guys are. But maybe not, maybe not, maybe not, maybe not. Everyone wants to play Queen G6. No, no. देखा देखा यही तो है. बैड मूव. श्रेयस गोखले, पुष्कर डेरे, विघ्नेश आनंद, स्वस्तिक साहू, श्रीतु पटेल, विशाल खोम्बारे, प्रथम, सुबलक्ष्मी, यश टंडन, इंद्रेश. You missed queen d4 check and queen takes d5. Suddenly black is back in the game. That's how things change. That's how things turn around. You can just go queen f5, put more pressure here, you're winning. All those who said f5, that is also a wrong move, because then again queen d4 check and this lost. हर एक मूव इंपॉर्टेंट है दोस्तों. क्वीन f6 played. Look at this. Pragg finds queen h1 here. This is very important move. Queen h1, king h1, so that there's no check. And then Firuja goes back, defending his knight. Pragg pushes the pawn forward. Pragg wants to go rook c8. That is Pragg's idea. Queen d6. He wants to take this. But bishop को just drop back कर सकते हैं ना. Oh, take here. Take this. If king takes queen with a check. Okay, bishop e4. Equally good. No, he didn't play this move. Bishop e4. मजेदार game. Abhimanyu says that's why he's the GM, we are not. That's why Pragg, guys, whenever you're playing a tricky guy like Firuja, you have to be alert till the end. You can't let your guard down. Queen f5 played here. Sorry, he played queen a3 and queen f5 played. No, sorry, what happened? Rook b d8, queen f5, queen a3. Okay, attacking here. Look at Pragg, yeah? Defends this. And now, okay, where does the queen go? Somewhere. You can't go to e6. I'll take the knight. So where do you go? Queen b3. But what's the threat now for white? I think Pragg just wants to go rook c8, take this, and then go with the other rook to c8. Or he wants h4, h5. I think he'll go h4, h5. That is his plan. Oh, nasty play by Pragnananda. h4, h5, also making a space for the king just in case. And Firuja resigns. Pragnananda beats him. What a game by Pragg. Firuja there was like, whoa, Pragg has played amazing chess. Have to give it to him. And Pragnananda beats Firuja in game number 1 out of 4 games. Time to update the scores here, but क्या ही मजा आ गया यार, क्या ही मजा. Too good. मतलब all those who missed the game, I must tell you, it started off with a normal Berlin rook e1 variation in the Berlin, and everyone thought यार अरे यार नींद आ रही है. But Pragg is like, नहीं दोस्तों, सोना नहीं है. Mohan Pandey, thank you for becoming backer of Indian chess. Knight f5. I will attack your bishop. And the point was, he got the bishop here. And then it was bishop versus knight. Now c4. Queen b3. Attacking b7. Firuja tried to be tricky with knight g4 ideas. But g3 pushing the queen back. Queen a3. And this was the key mistake of the game. I think here he had to play maybe queen b8, something which was not very comfortable. Already position looks slightly worse, but after c5, Pragg took rook c1, and Pragg's accuracy is so high. Rook e5, d4, because if you take, there is rook b5. I mean, guys, how do you face such accuracy? That's the thing. And okay, the only inaccurate move that Pragg made in this entire game was h3. That was the only inaccurate move. But after that, he just queen a3, d6, queen c5, f4, queen h5, bishop d5, then king h1. What an important move, because otherwise check mein ye mar sakta tha. That is what many of you missed. But Pragg doesn't miss such things. That's why he's the best out there. Queen f5, and this prepares this move Again, king h2, defending. Guys, patience rakho. This is called handling your nerves well. When you are winning, handle your nerves. Don't rush. I know you want to play h4, h5, but Pragg is like, it will come. Sometimes you don't need a stick to just make the fruit fall off the tree. All you need is patience. The fruit will ripen and fall in your lap. That's what happened after this. Queen a4, h4, and Firuja said h5 coming up. My knight has to move. It's checkmate here. I can't do a thing. My rook can't move. This rook can't move. Resigns. What a game. Suman Ghosh says Pragg, fire. Yes, Shashank says the sister won a beautiful Berlin game in the Olympiad. Absolutely, against Javakashvili. B4 by Vaishali. Kubdia. Arey, Kubdia is here. Thanks, Sagar Amruta, for your tireless efforts on quality content and much respect for unmatched dedication towards chess. 1 million soon. Always a fan. Thank you so much, Kubdia. Haven't still been able to find who you are, but that was a great game. And guys, just so that all of you are aware about the initiative that we are taking here with FTX Crypto, is the following: that FTX Crypto is sponsoring this chess event, correct? FTX. And so they have an app, and then they want people to register on the app, and they're giving one free NFT. It's called a Crypto Key. So what is going to happen in future is, maybe that's what they want to look at, is that instead of you having to pay fee or pay money for something, you need an NFT as an entry. So let's say you want to go to a tournament, an online event. Do you have this NFT? And each NFT key has a number. So when you download the key, that will be your key number. I have my key number. With that, you get certain perks, which are mentioned in the description. You can check it out. There's also a Discord channel where you can register after that. Now, if people register on that, basically 1.5 lakh rupees is going to be given to a scholarship to some chess player in need of funds. And chess players are in need of funds, that is for sure. For example, recently we had the 75th Grandmaster of India. Does anyone know who he is? His name? One of the best players right now. He's in 25-30. Pranav V, exactly. And so Pranav became a GM. And do you know how he became a GM? He did not have his own laptop. He was sharing his laptop with his father. His father used to give him to work. He would work. He would go to his game. His father would use the same laptop to do his work in office. So Pranav did not have his own laptop. And so there's always this need, one laptop he's going to buy, and Help Chess is going to sponsor that. Same way, there are many such players who are very talented. They almost reach like IM, GM. They are very highly rated. And all of these funds will be used for these good causes. So in case, here you just have to download it. You have to register and you have to get your key. And if there are enough people, then it will be used to support a chess player. And Pragg was kind enough to say, okay, let's name it FTX Pragg scholarship. So, and after the tournament, he will give it to the person whom we select for this scholarship. So that's the plan. And guys, if you can, this is always my dream with Help Chess, that we would be able to raise more funds through the support through what we have built for Indian chess. And this is always like, it's the dream with the Help Chess Foundation. So please do support. Okay, Anish versus Carlson. Next round. Pragg versus... Is Carlson back on the cam? Let me see. There you see Anish there. I don't know. Maybe they are all trying to get Carlson in. Oh, I have to update the score. Yes. We have 1 minute to update the score. Let's update. So Pragg won against Firuja. Then Carlson Giri draw. Neiman versus Duda. I think Duda won, or... Oh, Neiman won. Hans Neiman, another youngster to follow. Aronian Liam, Aronian won. Amazing. Hans Niemann versus Pragg is also going to be a fiery match. मजा ही आएगा वो भी मैच में. Niemann Duda power went off. What? Happy Independence Day, India. Best wishes to Prague. Arey Abhijit Sharma, thank you so much. Technical issue in Duda game. बाप रे, क्या हुआ? अच्छा, game ही नहीं हुआ. Because the last position, if you see here, after rookie one is equal. It's not like Niemann's winning. Oh, maybe Duda's machine went off or what? Power gone. Maybe they'll play off, right? Duda's PC. Oh, Duda's PC went off. Can we look at what's happening then? Drama. Look at Niemann there. Niemann is like, भाई अपने को कुछ पता नहीं जो भी हो रहा है, आराम से बैठा है. Praveen has great initiative. Sagar sir, you remember us. Praveen, you should have written a little bit more about yourself. I would definitely remember if you asked me like this. So he lost on time for now, says Sudarshan. But यार कंप्यूटर तो उनके है ना, डूडा खुद का कंप्यूटर थोड़ी ना लेके आया है. So, oh, there you see Magnus in the background in that cam. Oh, Magnus का आ गया वीडियो. There we have Magnus Carlson on the screen. I think they'll do a rematch. And Anishiri yawning. भाई Anishiri नींद आ रही है. Magnus क्या ही दिख रहा है ना मतलब. And Anish also. Anish, Magnus, I would say two of the smartest looking. Guys, this rating will not be impacted, yeah, because of this. Are they going to continue this match? I don't think Hans and they will continue this match. But guys, the one thing is for sure, that the way in which these people like the Champions Chess Tour have made this entire set and all this sort of क्या बोलते हैं, video work which they have like at the top and all, it's amazing. It's amazing. And also, like, when you yourself organize an event like we did with the Chessbase India Originals death match, you kind of realize the number of things that have to be taken care of. It's huge. It's huge. So respect for everyone who works towards chess and tries to make it grow. By the way, we have Najdorf coming in. Magnus Carlsen, knight f6, knight c3, a6. Let's go, Anish. Najdorf on the board. Magnus goes rook g1. And look at Anish there. He just looks on the side. Rook g1, h5. This was the last round game, if I'm not mistaken, between you know who played this with Anish at the Olympiad? Sorry, not g3. Do you know who played this rook g1 move? Abdu Sattarov, yes, Yagna Nidumulu. You are right. Nadir Beg, chess is more than fun. Abdu Sattarov, Shreyas Gokhale. He played it. And now bishop to g5 played in this position. b5. By the way, on the left, on the screen is the arbiter, Tanya Kareli. And by the way, Tanya Sachdev is also in Miami. I would love if one day we can get Tanya on stream. Maza aega. And Tanya Kareli, who's the arbiter there, she was in India also. So she's working really hard. In India, she was the arbiter. Now she's gone to Miami. Guys, chess में कुछ ना कुछ करने का फायदा तो है ना? You get to travel so much. Yeah, Tanya is commentating. Correct. Bishop to b7. Okay, Magnus. Anish hits this pawn on e4. Okay. पर मार सकते हैं तो आई थिंक f3 is just too slow यार. मतलब f3 कौन खेलता है यार रुक g1 के बाद? You have to do something faster. Maybe bishop d3, but still that doesn't look great. पर कुछ तो मूव करना पड़ेगा ना. Let's see what Magnus plays here. What's your move, guys, here with white? Do you feel it? Like, what should white play? And then we'll go to Pragg game. Pragg's game has also begun. Guys, we'll go to Pragg's game in a bit. But first, let me ask you, what would you play here as white if you were in Magnus Carlsen's shoes? So what are the moves we have got here? Let me see. The moves that we have are, whoa, F3. Many of you want to just play F3, huh? Regardless. मैं बोला F3 इतना अच्छा नहीं है फिर भी. Bishop D3 next move, which is very... Bishop F6, okay. Interesting. Queen F3, somehow getting into this pin, allowing Queen B6, perhaps putting pressure here. Queen D3, interesting. Queen D3 is interesting. Yeah, let's see which one he chooses from all of this. Rohit Reddy says, why not OTB? Everyone is in Miami, right? So, Rohit, that's the thing, yeah? You can have chess as OTB or you can have chess as esport. And there is this feeling amongst people that we want to make chess into an esports. And this is their way of sort of making chess into, like, you know, you have these esports games like whatever, like all these games, Age of Empires, PUBG, and many others. These are the ones he takes. Ooh, all those who said Bishop F6, guys. Proud of yourself. Be proud because you have said the move that Magnus has played. Mukul, Nasir, IM, Rishi, PL Kanti, Swapnil, Parimal, Savish. Well done, guys. Well done. तो उसने मारा फिर इन्होंने मारा. Okay, it's taken here. Valorant, correct. So they want to make chess also like that. And so, you know, many companies these days have a budget for esports. And this budget, they will only use it for esports. So if you play chess on over the board, not on computer, that is not esports. So that's the reason why you do it this way. It's just interesting. Okay, let's go to Pragg's game now. Pragnananda, what has he done? Playing with black pieces. We've reached a queenless position. It started with e4. Pragg went c5. Knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5. What's the name of this opening, guys? Chess is cool either way. Yeah, I mean, we have to see what future holds for chess. You know, we are all witnessing it together. Rosolimo, excellent. This is the Rosolimo. All those who said Rui Lopez, guys, when the pawn is back here and this pawn is here, it's Rui Lopez. But with the pawn here, it is Rosolimo, Sicilian Rosolimo. G6, takes, like Gukesh. Like Gukesh played against Fabiano Caruana. Takes, castles, bishop G7, rook E1, queen C7. Gukesh ka full D3. E5. Okay, I think in that game he had played D6 and this is what had happened, right? In Gukesh versus Fabiano Caruana. But here he went E5. Pragg plays his pawn to E5 and Firuja instantly says, I'm going to break with D4 because you are, fill in the blanks. I'm going to break on D4 because you are dash. Who will going to say? Because you are underdeveloped. Very good. Lack of development. Your king is in the center. Your king is not castled. Very good. All those who have written that. Knight f6, d4. Excellent move. Take. Queen takes. And Pragg now, instead of, he castles knight c3 and offers a queen trade. And by the way, it seems like he's still in his prep. Look at his time, 16 minutes. After take, e5, knight e8, bishop e3, rook a6, rook a d1. It looks like black's position is miserable. I mean, सब pieces कर क्या रहे? But F6, Pragg goes like, I want to break in the center. And now Alireza has to up his game because Pragnananda is playing like a beast. He's playing good chess and Alireza has to beat him. Otherwise, if he loses this game, it will be 2-0 and then Pragg needs to just draw the next game. Do you remember, guys? Last time the Oslo Esports Cup happened, in that Pragg was beating everyone in 3 games. He was like, by Pragg versus Magnus Carlsen, mein kya, it will be so much fun in the last round because Pragg was beaten by Magnus quite easily last time. So let's see if Pragg is going to fight this time better. Why are they wearing headphones? They can listen to music, by the way, guys. They can hear whatever they want. And by the way, you can see Firuja is not wearing anything. And Firuja is just not very happy there, yeah? Or is he just thinking? I don't know why. Noise cancellation. But doesn't chess demand silence? No, I think, different people are able to focus on different things in a day through music. So, for example, whenever I am doing chess analysis, I can play the music and I can analyze as well as if there's no music. Okay, Pragg takes, bishop takes, it was forced because if you took with the knight, f4 is hanging. But if I have to write an article or if I have to write a post, I can't do it well with music on. And I think that's the thing about many, I think with many people, maybe you guys also have certain things which you are able to do without focus. Like you will be able to do it just easily. Vinesh Jetwa, thank you so much for your super chat. So d5 played by Pragg, and I think this was a very important move that Pragg played because whenever he was going d5, there was en passant. But by getting rid of this pawn, he has been able to now get his pawn to d5 in the center nicely. So he took, and now Pragg takes back with the knight. Okay, interesting. Could have taken, if he took with the king, then I think rook e7 is problematic. You can't go rook f7, your knight is hanging. And the rook on 7th is dangerous. But now, if you get your rook on 7th, it's not so dangerous because there's nothing much to attack for now. And also bishop g4, pinning here is dangerous. Okay, so knight comes to e5. Nice move. He's attacking here. And he's saying to Pragg, if you push, then I'll take this. Very interesting. What should Pragg do here? Guys, socho, think like Pragg. What will you do here? Ek minute. This is hanging, right? So, क्या खेलोगे? Jay Kapoor, yes, exactly. I also thought the same. Joe Burr, I don't know if the bishop on b7 is the best. b5, I really like this move. All those who suggested, because I have b4 plans and attacking here. But the problem with b5 is after a3, the dark squares become weak. So the best move here, believe it or not, and I think you can believe it, is bishop b7 because later on you want to push this further. Rook f6 says Shreyas. That's also interesting, Shreyas, to defend here. Maybe that allows a4. But then if I go bishop b7, a4, I was thinking c5, knight d5, bishop d5, rook d5, rook a4 could be possible. But also knight f3, knight f5, knight d6. Okay, Pragg seems to have an important decision to make at this point of time. How to defend his c6 pawn. That is a major decision for Pragg. And by the way, guys, Pragg is leading this match 1-0. And our aim today is to close in on 1 million subscribers for ChessBase India. And guys, when we hit 1 million, we will also do something interesting. क्या करेंगे? We'll figure out. I have some plans. कुछ तो करेंगे. Ashish says, how about c5, knight d5? But Ashish, he won't take with the knight. No, he'll take with the rook. Then you are not even winning this. So Pragg finds this amazing move. Nice. Firuja goes a3. अभी थोड़ा game heat up हो रहा है, guys. You know, Gary Kasparov used to say that the classical way of playing chess with black is first you equalize and then you try to take the advantage. So here he has equalized already. And now Pragg can slowly try to wrest over the initiative, knight f5. If he gets a chance, I think he wants to go d4 and c5. Why not? For example, just a waiting move, h3. I think d4. Okay, if you go knight e4, c5. Bishop opens up. Let's go quickly and check what is happening with Carlsen and Anish. Because after bishop takes f6, gf6, f4, Anish went knight c6. He took bishop takes, queen d4, e6, castles, and rook b8. Oh, what? Magnus Carlsen has sacrificed a piece and Anish does not even blink. Magnus drinks his water and he tells Anish, Kya bhai, I'm attacking your f6 pawn. And Anish is like, Magnus, what are you getting for the piece? This is so exciting. Can we take the knight? I think we have to. Because other move is bishop g7, but then Magnus feels really good about his position. So let's say you take, I take with the king in the center and the check coming in. I mean, let's say I save my bishop. You give a check. Now you want to move the king, or you, because if you play bishop e7, there is queen takes f6. Not so sure about who's better here. But definitely black looks under pressure for sure. Is there a lag, guys? Please refresh. I think everything is okay from my end. By the way, I love how the branding is done. Do you see that? Magnus ke piche there is Puma. Very nicely done. By the way, I also got a t-shirt there. I will try to wear it. It's fine, guys. Please refresh. Please refresh. There was a lag. Someone said that d5 is falling. Yeah, that's a good point. Like take, bishop a8, rook e1, bishop e7, queen f6, rook f8. And now this is hanging. So there's no time. Once this falls, then you can drop your bishop back. I think Anish must take the knight. If he doesn't take the knight, okay, Anish is kind of a pragmatic player. He might go for bishop g7 and he might tell Magnus that, hey, what's your knight doing here? I'll take it on the next move. What do you think, guys? Will Anish take or not take? What's the difference between Moscow and Rosalimo? Mustafa, when e4, c5, knight f3, d6 is played and bishop d5, it's Moscow. When knight c6 and bishop d5 played, it's called Rosalimo. Take e5. Amit Roy says e5. Amit, but then this knight is so happy on d5. Just go back with the queen. No, that's not how this will work. You have to, the uncompromising move in this position is to take. The irritating move for Magnus could be bishop g7. Oh, takes it. By the way, guys, this is a gun which Amruta gifted me. It is actually a perfume. Nice perfume. But it is in the shape of a gun. So whenever good move is played, I can do. Okay. He takes d5. Now bishop has to go back. Where do you go? Bishop a8, bishop d7. Richard says, I believe bishop should not go to d7. Yeah, I also agree with you, Richard. You must keep pressure on the d5 pawn. So I think he must go back. Okay, quickly let's see what's up with Pragg. Oh, Pragg has managed. मैंने knight f5 बोला h3 और उसने actually खेला. I was just making that waiting move and he actually played it. d4, knight e4, c5, knight g5. Okay. Guys, Pragg is taking over the initiative, but it's not an easy position. When you have Firuja's two knights lurking around your king, you have to be careful. Bishop c8, trying to control the e6 square. Bishop c8. Now, stopping knight e6 here. So Pragg's position looks quite good with these central pawns. Let's quickly go to the game of Anish and Magnus, because big decision for Anish Giri. Look at him, guys. Look at Anish Giri on your screen. He's just totally inside. We can also look at this. Look at that. So focused. So focused. राहुल शर्मा से, सागर भाई बार बार खड़े क्यों हो रहे हो? अरे बैठ बैठ के थक जाता है ना आदमी. You must do some exercise. All those who are also sitting for a long time, please do some exercises for your back. Can we watch Pragg game? Arey Lakshmi Narsimhan, we saw no right now. Pragg played his bishop back to c8. And now we are waiting for Firuja's move. I think Firuja might go b4 at the right time, but then a3 is hanging. I don't know if Firuja will play some move like rook c1, but look at Pragg, no? He's just shaking. He's enjoying himself. Maza aa raha hai. Check by Magnus. देखो किंग को ऊपर लिया ना, that is something like you have committed yourself. You have committed that you will not castle ever. And now you want to get this bishop in the game. What will you play? Let's see in the chat, guys. Once the king comes to d7, what is the move that is a killer move in this position? Killer. क्या ही चमट, क्या ही बढ़िया, मस्त, too good. g3, well done, well done. g3 has been mentioned by Chess is More Than Fun, Arush Kaushik, Abhinav, Rakshit, Aditya, Hesanda, Ronak, Yash Naik, Ishprit Singh, Invincible. You want to go bishop h3, and a very common idea, by the way, when the king goes here, is to swing your rook over this way to attack. And your missing piece is not felt because the black pieces are quite passive. You know, they are quite horrible. So that's the reason why here Anish must go bishop e7, which he does. He puts his bishop on e7. But this is going to be a very difficult game for Anish to defend, I feel. It's not at all going to be easy. Ooh, and look at Firuja, the move he's found. Rook c1, really love it. Actually, I was wondering why is Rook c1 so good? Like, let's say we make another waiting move. King h1, let's say. h6, knight back, maybe g5, king g7. I mean, Rook c1, I think the main point of this move is to prepare b4. What Firuja is doing now is that he wants to play b4. Let's imagine that you play a move like h6 here. Then you go back. I go king g7. I defend everything. Now comes b4. So with this move, what you're saying is I'm going to hack this structure. So if you take here, this pawn becomes weak. The rook can enter. So you take, he takes on c5. You take back and then rook takes c5. And in such a position, I do feel that black is the only one who's going to struggle big time. Because first of all, the black king is weak. Secondly, knights are stronger when the play is kind of concentrated on one side of the board. There's no pawns on the other side. So suddenly the knights start becoming very powerful. The rook is well positioned. So all in all, it's going to be quite dangerous here. After rook c1. So the idea is b4. So Pragg has an important decision to make. And it looks like one of those positions where it seems like there's nothing much happening, but it could get very nasty. And I think Firuja needs to do that with Pragg. So Pragg is now thinking, you can see his time is running low. He's down to 6 minutes on the clock. Meanwhile, for Magnus Carlsen, it's also decision time. Anish has just played his bishop up. How, oof, nice move by Magnus. Well done. He doesn't get tempted by this pawn. He doesn't get tempted. He just develops. And he tells his opponent that, look, if I would have taken here, I do understand that after rook f8, this threat. And if you go back, then after king d7, bishop f6, this time you have it all under control. So that's the reason why I'm not taking this pawn. It's a traitor. I don't want it. And now Anish must try to figure out what to do. And he goes king f8. Nice move. He wants to save this pawn. Now the bishop is no longer pinned this way. So Magnus instantly goes g4, opening up here. This is a classic game. This is a wonderful game, guys. For all those who want to learn how to attack, look at this game. Magnus first sacrifices a piece here. It was a normal position. Both sides have two pieces. And he goes knight d5. He gives up a piece. And then he gives a check. Then he brings his bishop. He doesn't rush into kind of cash out. It's like, let's stay in there. It's a long game. g4. Playing as if you are not a piece down when you are a piece down is actually the toughest thing to do. It's very important. And maybe you guys, all those who are under pressure in life, in anything, to play calmly, to live life calmly in that situation under pressure is what will make you a great player or a great sort of person. Like, for example, I always remember whenever there's pressure and if someone can handle it well, the first face that comes to mind is like, I don't know if that same face comes to your mind as well. There's a lot of pressure around, but he's very calm. What's the first face that comes to mind? Look, Sayak Pal, MS Dhoni. Yes, Dhoni is the first face that comes. Kitna bhi pressure ho. Opponent 6 maar raha hai and all of that. He's like, he goes to his bowler. He's like, बोल आराम से, फील्डर को ऐसे ऐसे, you know, keeping your cool, that's important. Okay, g4 hanging now, queen g7 can come in. Let's quickly go to Pragnananda's game, what we actually thought has happened. Rook a7, nice move by Pragg, just not committing, not creating any weaknesses here, keeping his pawn structure intact. b4 by Firuja. He's of course a great player, but he's being pushed to the wall by Pragg. Pragg is not giving him an inch, so Firuja has to bring his A game. He plays b4, rook takes a3, b takes c5 on the board. So b takes c5, and now take this pawn, but Pragg is not rushing. And these are the things, little things which you can understand how good a player is. Pragg is not rushing for this move. You know, he's taking his time. Like, I know I can recapture, but do I have an intermezzo? Oh, and he goes d3. Bhai Pragnananda, what a move. Because now he's threatening d2 with a little fork there. Of course, his opponent's not going to fall for it. But then which rook should he play? If he plays this rook here, because this was a good square, all of a sudden, what does black do? Tricky move. Find a tricky move, guys. Let's see how many of you are capable of finding a tricky move in such a position. When rook d1 is played to attack here, find a tricky move. Not a normal move. Knight to d4, wonderful, lovely. You want to give a fork here, excellent job here, done by Nilesh, Yagna, Swagato, Chess, Aditya, Padmesh, Rakshit, Nihar, Pathik, and Shreyas Adiga. Because if now king f1, that's not good, because now I give a sort of a check here. I'm going d2 next to give you a check. So these moves like d3 really unsettle your opponent. It's not part of his plan that he wanted to see such move. And Pragnananda finding such moves just shows what a high class player he is, right? He's amazing. He pushes his pawn to d3. Now Firuja thinking, what should he do? Meanwhile, Magnus Carlsen के गेम में after f5 Anish went rook g8 and Magnus takes rook takes g4. Guys, don't be misled by the computer's evaluation. Take. Now can Anish chop this pawn off? He must, right? Because otherwise rook g1 and mate is incoming. But then what's the defense here? After bishop d5, rook g1, oh, king e8, bhago. So you can't. So bishop d5, I think Anish will take. No, and bishop d5 does another thing. It protects here. So if rook g1, king e8, check, king d7, f7 is not hanging. Nice. He takes it. Anish takes it. Right now, defense going well. Queen d4 attacking this bishop. I think Anish is going to beat Magnus. Carlson. When ahead in material, what should you do, guys? When ahead in material, what should you do? And by the way, Anish has 3 minutes 41 seconds. Magnus has 2 minutes 50 seconds. When ahead in material, trade. So yes, Abhinav Agarwal, very good. Bishop c4, exchange karo. And I think, and that's what Anish does. He puts his bishop on c4. Anish doesn't have to be told twice that when ahead in material, exchange. So he plays here, and meanwhile, something has happened in Pragg's game after b takes c5, d3, rook c d1, good move, b takes c5, he takes on d3, c4, knight e5. Maybe knight c5 was a better move, but he went knight e5, c3, pushing the pawn forward, rook d5, and now it's Pragg's move. What's the best move here? Oh man, the best move is rook a2. Why? Because if you go rook, oops, sorry, not rook d5, rook here to attack this pawn, I got knight d4, and if you take here, I have knight e2 check, and I win a fork over there. So let's, oh, and Pragg has to find this move. I don't know if he'll be able to find, because there's so many other possibilities here. And you see these Alireza knights, they are tricky. And look at the time, 2 minutes 46 seconds. Alireza has 7 minutes 8 seconds. And meanwhile, Anish Giri has managed to trade one more bishop, and the bar is just shouting, Anish, you are winning! Anish, you are winning! You are winning! Because the king is safe. There are no attackers left. Magnus is going to lose this. And Anish is going to enjoy himself if he's able to beat Magnus. Queen takes c4. And now just improve your queen. Just improve your queen. Let's go back to Pragnananda's game, because Pragg is down 2 minutes on the clock. Rajkumar Emmanuel says, Sagar bhai, both energy is time पे. भाई एनर्जी तो रखना पड़ेगा ना, ये प्लेयर्स क्या ही खेल रहे हैं यार, दे प्लेइंग सो वेल. इसका क्या सब लोग को एक ही राज लगता है मेरा एनर्जी का. भाई और भी राज है. What did Pragg play? He played c2 first. Okay, interesting. And what about rook c5? I think he wants to go rook a2. Or even knight d4. Harshit Raj, दोस्तों, I'm seriously trying to control क्या ही. What Harshit has given me is not COVID nor any virus. He's given me क्या ही. So I try to control. Sir, which game won Brilliancy Award in Olympiad? There was a Brilliancy Award? I'm not aware. I'm not sure. Meanwhile, why is Anish not making a move? Even a move like Queen B6 should be very good, yeah? I mean, what's the problem? Just put pressure here. And Queen A5 is also interesting, hitting the rook here. Anish has many good moves. He just shouldn't feel the pressure. He shouldn't feel the heat. C2, and now Alireza thinking for nearly 1.5 minutes. He's getting low on time. Being brilliant at chess. Sagar bhai, how are you? How's the feeling of getting back home after so much time? You know, I used to go on like month-long trips, 2 months, sometimes 3 months trip. And this time I went for just 2 weeks. And I felt like, oh my God, I want to go back home. This is what COVID has done to all of us, yeah? Staying at home, feeling so comfortable. Nice chair I have here, nice table, those screen, everything is so good. So before I used to be like, कब जा रहे घर के बाहर, निकलो भागो. Okay, anyway, C2 played by Pragnananda. Alireza Firuja has to play his next move. I think a good move here for Firuja is rook d2. Putting pressure here, no knight d4. So then rook a2, and then you can go rook c1 and clean up this pawn. But Alireza goes rook c5, and the knight says, thank you so much, Mr. Rook, for giving me this square. Now rook c7, mistake, but why is it a mistake? It's very tough. एक मिनट देखो दोस्तों, समझो ये बार को समझो. पहले तो knight e2 check, Pragg will be tempted because knight e2, rook e2, rook a1 and c1. He will win an exchange. He will be tempted by this, I'm sure. Because knight e2, if you move the king, there is c1. But Pragg has to first of all not get tempted by that move. In 1 minute 47 seconds, find rook b3, allowing knight at 7 so that he can play rook b1. This is very difficult to find. Very difficult, if not impossible. Rook b3, because there is so many distractions. Dosto, if there was only one move, I can understand. But the distraction is knight e2 check. And then h7 is hanging. So I'm sure that Pragg is going to find it very difficult to play this move rook b3. But you can see that Pragg, he's so focused. He's like, do I have a chance? Do I have a chance? Guys, what do you think? Will Pragg find this move? Rook b3? I don't think. नहीं मुझे नहीं लगता है. But यार ये they always surprise. Look at Pragg, he's moving back and forth. Such intensity. I really would have loved a heart rate counter near him. Did he make his move? Khelo, Pragg, khelo. You're down to 39 seconds. What did he play? Bishop a6. Blunder. Big blunder. Because knight g4. Game over. Knight at 6. And then, ooh, knight g4 is such a tough. I think Firuja will find it. Yeah, bishop a6. He just missed that this bishop was controlling the g4 square. Knight g4. His point is knight e2 check. King h2. Queen. पर भाई क्वीन बना के मिलेगा क्या? चेक, किंग हियर एंड मेट. इट्स अ मेट. All that Alireza has to find now is knight g4 with knight h6, and Pragg will shake his hand. Oh, there you play. There he plays it, and Pragnananda has blundered. Firuja is winning the game totally. From a winning, like not a winning, but a better position, Pragg has collapsed into a worse position. You see, these knights were looking so dangerous. They have struck. Pragg, I don't think he can find any defense here. It's just over. Yeah, that's just lost now. These two knights. I think he plays his knight to f5. But there are many ways now to win because this pawn is no longer threatening anything. There's no knight e2. You can just take here. Meanwhile, Anish Giri versus Magnus Carlsen. Let's quickly go there and check what's happening. Ooh, Magnus has got in with his queen. Maybe they are agreeing to a draw or what? So first, here queen b6 happened, b4, d5. Oh, draw! Draw! Check, check, check. Anish agrees to a draw. I don't know, he's talking to someone there. We'll come back. But for now, knight f5. What does Firuja do? But Anish just missing out on such a huge opportunity to beat the world champion. Rook takes c2. Maybe some hope for Pragg. No, rook b3 played. Rook c6. Yeah, Anish had less time. Rook c6, attacking the bishop. Bishop to p5. Position is just gone. Rook c7. Oh, goes knight f6. Interesting move. So if you go king g7. He wants to go check and knight h7. This was a nice idea, I think. Here, he wants to give a check. If you take here, knight h7, mate. What a nice mate. So he goes king h8. Can Pragg somehow swindle Firuja from such a position with just 13 seconds on his clock? I doubt. There you see Anish there, unhappy with his decision, and he goes away from the board. He really thought he was, not much better, and so he agreed to a draw. But the engines were showing a huge advantage, and maybe Anish doesn't agree with it. So Firuja taking his time. You can see Pragg there. When he sort of goes back in his chair, he is kind of a little more Like, I don't have any chance kind of a look. Knight H F, Knight F H7. And now he's 2 pawns down, and with these two knights very powerfully positioned, it's lost. King G7, Knight E6 check. Yeah, Pragg knows he's lost here. Duda won game 1. Look at that, Pragg drinking water. Knight F7. So now that Alireza has sort of fought back, it's going to be quite tough for Pragg to recover first from this loss and then come back. Yeah, he resigns there. He's quite unhappy with this position. He's 2 pawns down. So he resigned, and Alireza is on the scoreboard. So that means the score is now tied 1-1. Let me update the score. Firuja strikes back. Pragg was very close to kind of getting an advantage, but he couldn't. And even Carlson, Anish was very close to being better, but now it's 1-1. Neiman Duda, I don't know what happened. Rahul, and are they all in Miami for this tournament? If so, why aren't they playing on the board? Rahul, I just explained some time ago that they are trying to make chess into an esports, and the concept of esports is that you play on the computer, because if you play over the board, then it doesn't make sense. Then chess is no longer that esport feel. So that's the reason why this is so difficult. This is so difficult. Now Lei Kwong Liam is winning. The only defensive move here was rook c2. Very tough. He played king here. He had to play the move rook a5. Very tough again. But he plays the move. But rook a5, what sort of move is that? I take just a4. And this is winning because you have rank cutoff. Amazing. Duda won the first game. Okay. I am not sure what happened there, but yeah. And guys, all those who are tuning in right now, but because clearly you are asking me questions which I have answered before, so you're tuned in right now, please do check out the links in the description, and also the link. Oh, nice move there. Also the link in the pin chat. It is a link to download the FTX Crypto app, and basically it's just to log in. There you can just log in and get your free NFT, sort of crypto key it's called, which gives you access to some special things, like you can play in a tournament, online tournament, you can get some memberships, you can also get certain different perks. It's free completely, so you can download it. And the advantage of it is that it will help someone who's in need of funds, because whatever, how many of you register, based on that, there's going to be a scholarship with a base price of 1.5 lakh rupees. Pragg FTX Pragg scholarship, because we are following Pragg here. And at the end of it, that money will go to a talented youngster of Indian chess who's in need of those funds, one or many more. And if many of you sort of sign up, then there will be more amount there. For everyone who signs up, there will be an amount beyond a certain point. So I hope that if you guys, anyway, there is good value in that. Plus it's free NFT, and the other thing is that it can help someone. So if you would like to do that, I would be very grateful. Please do check it out. And let me get Liam and Aronian on the screen. Look at Levon. Look at the how the bar is just swinging in this rook endgame, but it's normal, yeah. It's right now it's drawn, but I think in the end white will win. This is so much better cameras right here than what we have for Prague. I think the lighting here is perfect. What was Bishop A6 idea? Sahil says. I think he wanted to play knight E2, but he forgot that knight G4 there is a mate. This rook is so tied up. It's so tied up with this pawn and this pawn. It can't move. It's like many of you, many of us, I should say not you, who are trying to balance professional and personal life. You want to manage both, but unfortunately, nothing. You're just stuck. Something he has to give up. Like give this up, maybe push this. Give this up, maybe push something. Levon will hold this. I don't know. Tejas Kadam says, Sagar, by 1 million pe kya plans hai? We want to launch something that will really help Indian chess. Again. What? He played here. Can we take this pawn? Let's take it. Then you have to fight with just one pawn. And also the king is coming back quickly. Yeah, this is going to be easy. Push. Rook here. But what about this? He wants... Maybe he just wants to bring his king out. Because if you take here, then check and you lose the rook. Not easy, yeah, with this rank cutoff. Utkarsh Somaya says, thank you, Sagar. Great work. Thank you, Utkarsh. I think one of the main intentions of making our foundation, Help Chess Foundation, was always that we would be able to connect the two, which is the chess players and the people who have funds, be it someone who wants to institute a scholarship or be it a corporate who wants to bring in money into the sport. We can always be the bridge. Chess Base India can be the bridge. And I think slowly it is working out thanks to the support of all of you, thanks to the so many people who follow us, and so a big thanks to everyone. It's amazing. Rook here and then push the pawn next move. Now a6, but somehow you can't win this. Yeah, it's just like when you move your king, I'll give a check. The rook will keep checking. The pawn is not going forward. The king is too close. Swiss magician says, Sagar, do you think Magnus can reach 2900 before the World Championship? I doubt. Did you see what happened at the Olympiad? Like he played well, actually. He played quite well. Yet he lost couple of elo points, right? He got a bronze medal on board one. He scored 8 out of 10 or maybe 7 out of 9. I don't know. Something like that. What is with its next tournaments? Anando Das Gupta says, can we pay directly to the Help Chess Foundation? If so, what's the way? Well, Anando, just wait until we reach 1 million, yeah? So if we reach 1 million soon, you will know how to do that. Vidit, I think he might play Abu Dhabi or Dubai Open. I don't think he's playing Abu Dhabi, but he could play Dubai Open, which is after Abu Dhabi in UAE. Apart from that, I don't know. I mean, maybe he has some events later. By the way, guys, there's Tata Steel Chess India that is happening this year as well. Last year, if you remember, Arjun had won the Rapid, Levon had won the Blitz along with Arjun. It was such a close match. It was a tie break between Levon and Arjun, and in the end, in the Armageddon, Levon had beaten Arjun Blitz mein. So no, this is easy. Yeah, this is a draw. Nothing much. You can also bring your rook here. This is a draw. 2 games are done, guys. 2 games are done. We are going to the third game, which will start in roughly 3 minutes from now. Is my sound too low? Prague will start in some time. Fine, yeah. Who all are participating in Tata Steel? I feel that I don't know the field yet. They haven't announced it, but I'm sure the young Indian players will play there, like last year. Gukesh, Arjun, Pragg, and then we'll also have maybe some world class GMs. Last time we had Levon. Maybe because of the pandemic, they couldn't get many of the world class players. Maybe this year there will be more top 10 players who will play. Hikaru, yeah, maybe Hikaru will play. Did Hikaru say on his stream that he's playing? Yeah, endgame was definitely winning for Liam. I don't think Magnus will play Tata Steel. Yeah, this is a draw. Let's just check if Anish could have played on this position. King C1. I think Anish's main problem is that this is hanging. The first move that comes to mind is Rook E8 to prevent this. Now, what is the move that Anish was afraid of? I don't know, because here I don't see even a good sort of what would Magnus, how would he put pressure here? Maybe Queen F7 again hitting here, Rook E7, then King D8, no check. So a little bit curious decision, yeah, by Anish to repeat here. Maybe it was time, maybe it was also the nerves of facing Magnus. Yeah, for sure, Surya Thangavel, you can join in Tata Steel Chess India in Kolkata. I'm sure it will be a great event that will happen this year. They also have a women's event along with the open event where they will have world-class women players coming down. And the unique thing about this event is that the prize fund that they are going to keep is going to be equal for both the open and for the men and the women. So it's a very sort of a positive thought, and they want to because this is the year of women in chess by FIDE and all of that. It's a draw, by the way. They are going to, oh, nice finish, by the way, by Liam. Gave a check, Levon took it, stalemate. Yeah, it would be the first time ever that men and women tournament have the same prize fund, which is actually going to be pretty cool. Meanwhile, Anish, Magnus are here, so are Firuja and Pragnananda. Let's go, guys. Pragnananda with the white pieces this time against Firuja. I'll get some water for myself. Till that time, guys, please do download the links of the FTX crypto app. And so many moves have happened. What? Firuja plays the Philidor. Wow. Oof. You know why I got so surprised with the Philidor is because I've played this a lot with black, and I really have a very nice story about it. I'll tell you. So what happens is generally you start off here with this move order, and then you play e5, and you are very much okay to go into this end game because black is doing pretty fine, and Pragg anyway is an aggressive player. He doesn't like to go for such. I mean, it's equalish there. So you play your knight to f3, then knight bd7. Now I'm protecting this pawn. So what black wants to do is he wants to control this structure, and he wants to develop his pieces. Now this bishop is not yet developed, but it will develop at some point. Castles, rook e1, c6. With c6 you are preparing b5. So white stops it with a4, stopping b5. And so then you go he went h6. Now h6 idea is to go rook e8, so stops knight g5 plans. h3, rook e8, a5, gaining more space, and now he goes bishop f8. Another plan is to go queen c7 and knight f8, knight g6. He goes bishop f8. Okay, so the story goes this way. I went to World Juniors in Poland, which was a very important event for me in my life because I was 20 years old. I was 2200, and I told my dad that I want to play the World Juniors. My dad said that, okay, you want to play the World Juniors. What's the cost like? And I said that, oh, you have to book the ticket and stay there, and everything comes to roughly around a lakh of rupees. And he was kind enough to sponsor me for that event, and I prepared very hard for that event. I prepared against e4, some Sicilian accelerated dragon, certain openings, and then when I was on the flight, Debashish Das, who was also with me, Grandmaster, he showed me this Fritz trainer on Chessbase of Victor Bologan, and he said that this is Philidor. I was like, wow, what is Philidor? You know what? I actually went through that entire thing in the flight, and also on the day when we reached there. The tournament didn't start. It was in Poland, and I've watched that entire thing for 4 hours. I liked it so much because it was very simple, right? It was like you put your pawn on d6, you put your knight on f6, then you play your pawn to e5, then you bring your knight to d7, then you play your bishop here, then you castle, then you play c6, then you are playing h6. Sometimes there are some different ideas, and I learned them all. I became such a big expert at this. I played it on my first round in the World Juniors. I got a winning position with a GM. I lost it later, but I played it so many games there, and I won so many games. I prepared other openings for months, and within 2 days, I just changed everything. But anyway, it's not like a super main opening if white is well prepared. But I think Firuja has kind of understood what he wants against Pragg. He wants to give Pragg more space. Like, okay, you can take more space. I'll put pressure here. And then slowly he might get this d5 break at the right time or put the knight on e5. He's just trying to not go into some theoretical lines, which Pragg is so well prepared. That's the plan, it seems. Anyway, right now, if he takes here, you can't take with the knight, I believe, because of knight takes e4. So you must take with the bishop opening up here. So Firuja thinking whether to take here or not. And then let's go to Magnus Carlsen versus Anish Giri. It is a French defense. Wow. And Anish plays the advanced variation c5, c3. I have to update the score. Guys, what's the score between Neiman and Duda? Neiman and Duda 0-2 or what? 1-1. No, no one is sure. Sub count is stuck. Sub count is let's go to 992k, guys. All those who are here and haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. Second game in progress. Okay, thanks, Sasha. So c3 played by Anish. Knight c6, knight f3, bishop d7, bishop e2, knight e7, castles, cd, cd, knight f5, knight to c3, rook c8, king h1. So the idea of king h1 is that at some point, like let's say you want to play f4, like let's say for example a6, you go g4, knight h4, take. Now the king here, better that the king is on the side and you want to just push. So that's why king h1 is a useful move. But then Anish goes bishop g5. So then why did he play king h1? Maybe he could have gone bishop g5 straight away. I don't know. But look at the amount of time Firuja is taking for this move. He's down to 11 minutes. Pragg has 14 minutes on the clock. Hiren Patel says this gaming chair makes chess like video game. Keep the ethos of it as a sport. You know what I've understood is that at the end of the day, something which has money is going to be adopted by people than something which doesn't. So let's say if you make chess like esports, and yes, some people are against it and they're like chess has this rich heritage, but at the same time you're going to offer like huge prize fund, top players will play. Queen c7 has been played. And I think Firuja wants to put his knight on e5. That's why he plays queen to c7. There are always plans like a6, but right now b5 might be in the air. I think a typical Pragg move is knight h4 with the idea of coming here. He goes bishop a2 first. Drops it back so that knight e5 doesn't hit the bishop. Knight to e5. Pragg has to decide now what to do about this pressure here, because somewhere, oh, he goes knight h4. Nice move by Pragnananda. That's such a cool move. He's looking at the f5 square. Bishop e6, trying to exchange these bishops. That's a good move by Alireza. And I think you must take. Because let's say if pawn takes, I can maybe take here, and play this position. But this is okay for black. Maybe a better try is f4, and all of a sudden knight coming in. I think white is doing very well here. Also f4 e5. So rook takes. But now after f4, this is getting a bit intense. Like here, I'll put my queen here. My knight is coming in here. My rook can join in. I like white's position. I like Pragg's chances. With Anand now deputy president, given Magnus's withdrawal, and Anand himself having played World Championship matches, you think we might see a drastic change in format? I think you can't change the format in between the cycle, because the candidates has already been completed. I don't think you can change the cycle now. But maybe next year, before the candidates, it has to be announced, because the qualifying event of you cannot then say, oh, we changed the rules when the qualifying event is over. So rook takes has been played. Yeah, I think after the current match, definitely, I think the format will change for sure, especially because, I mean, definitely you want Magnus to be fighting for the world title, and I think it makes a lot of sense if that happens. Knight f5, and I think Magnus was kind of respectful this time by not asking for any changes or anything. He's like, just I can't play it anymore. I am going to resign and for my title. Next time, let's look at it. I mean, he's not against World Championship if the format changes. Yeah, I love Pragg's knight on f5. It's aiming at these two squares. If you go g6, maybe I can just move my knight back. But also, maybe I can just play f4. Hitting the rook, hitting the knight. Knight goes to f5. Firuja has to be careful, yeah. I think g6 he might go, and we'll see Pragg going f4. This will heat up things. So knight d7. Let's go back, defend this. Looks good. Nilanshu says, why is Gukesh not getting invites to big events? I think now he will. There is no doubt that people have noticed Gukesh. They are talking about him. And I feel like at least next year's Tata Steel Challengers will have Gukesh. But he's too high rated for that already. Like for Challengers. Because this year the top seed of Challengers section was 26, 30 or 40. And Gukesh is 27, 25. Maybe he should get direct invites to a super tournament. G6. Let's go, Pragg. F4 time. There you have Pragg there, focused. Pragg can also go knight G3, which is a good move. But f4, it just complicates things. Utsav says VD was 2710 when he played Tata Steel Challengers. I think that Challengers was pretty strong, which Vidit played. Korobo was on his toes. Um, sorry, on his heels. But last year's Challengers was a little bit kind of rating wise not so strong, right? And players were pretty good, but yeah, Gukesh might get a direct entry into the main event. That is possible. Let's look at Magnus versus Anish. Bishop g5, queen b6, knight a4, queen a7, bishop e3 back, bishop e7, a3, with the idea of b4 and knight c5. Pragg is still thinking. I think Pragg is confused between knight g3 and f4. And he's going to choose one of the two. Yeah, Magnus did play French. Why not knight h4? Just for fun. It's also possible. But then from knight h4, so better just put it on g3, no? So, oh, he goes knight h4. Just for fun. Wow. You just asked why not knight h4 and he played it. I'm actually a bit curious. What is his plan? Why did he play it? I'm eating some paratha that my mother gave me today. I also want to show you a gift at the end of this stream that is given to me by from Armenia, um, and I want to show it to you. Preparing f4 f5. True, writer's mind. That's his plan. But then why couldn't he do it on knight g3? It's still possible, no? I think what Pragg wanted to do with this is with f4 f5, he keeps pressure here on g6 as well. So that's his plan. Abu Dhabi mein we have oh, he goes knight h5 stopping f4. We have Rupali who has traveled to Abu Dhabi. I mean, who is I think right now as we speak on the way. So we will have live sort of not live commentary, but we will have coverage from there. We have Arjun Nihal playing there, and other many other strong players. So now angling at the f4 square. How does Pragg play f4? I was thinking if you can go rook at f1 to play f4, but then the knight settles in. But now in such a position, white can go for a very interesting move, guys. Can you find it? White to play. Here, white to move. What do you play? It's a pawn sack. Funny Verma, one endgame which you taught in lockdown, rook plus h pawn versus bishop and king, arrived in Pragg Sindarov in Olympiad, where you had told not to push the h pawn. Yes, Funny Verma. Thank you for remembering. I had covered it in my endgame series, and I have actually played it in my game as well, the Pragg Sindarov. So I had made a mistake of pushing the pawn, and it had ended in a draw against Premnath from National Juniors. And but Pragg did it well. Pragg knew it. G3, very good. G3 is the move that I was looking for. The idea is to sacrifice this pawn so that next move f4 is coming up and the knight is poorly positioned. So well done all those who found G3, and they are Kunal, Writer's Mind, Vardhan, Abhinav, Surya, Neeraj, Omkar, Sharvil, Amit Ayush and Amit. So I think Pragg must go rook f1. Meanwhile, Magnus Carlsen seems to have started to turn on the heat against Anish. Naveen, thank you for becoming backer of Indian chess. I think Magnus is going to make Anish really grind in this, because firstly, Magnus has the bishop pair. Secondly, d5 square is weak. White pawns are not so well placed. Bishop can sit here. I don't think Anish has to be very careful here, because Magnus, once he gets an advantage, he's like a beast. He's like a beast here. And Anish must be careful. By the way, one quick question. Bishop b5, where do you move your queen? To b3 or to e3 or to d2? Where do you move your queen? Just a very positional question. No one falls for my tricks, huh? Queen takes b5. Well done, guys. Very alert. The bishop is hanging and the queen over there. It's a nice example of taking advantage of the pin, and well done all the people who are alert. Abhinav, Tejas, Surya, Vidya, Tanmay, Neeraj, Random, Divam, Sanidhya and Amit Ayush. Meanwhile, Pragg goes g3. Pragg doesn't go for rook f1, which we thought. He plays g3 and opponent goes queen d8. Point is, if you go f4 now, all sorts of tricks, yeah? Knight takes f4, knight takes g3. This is hanging. So Pragg decides to bring his knight back to g2 and now prepares f4. It's getting quite intense. I have one question for you. If you play bishop g7, f4, what do you think can black play here? Black to play. Who said? Srinath told that Arjun has withdrawn from Abu Dhabi event. Oh, that's sad. But anyway, his rating is very high now for that event. He's 2704. Yes, knight f3 check. Well done, guys. It's a check and it's also a fork, but it's also a deflection because the queen is deflected and you can win an important bishop. So well done here. All those who saw it, Shreyas, Gun Game, Just Do It, Saksham, Surya, World of Wit, Kunal Gupta, Rajat, Aditya and Nirnay Garg. But in the game, knight d7 was played, which is actually a pretty decent move. King h2. Pragg wants to go f4 at all costs, but when your king side is slightly weakened like this, there are all sorts of sacrifices that can come. Anmol Khimani says, how are you, Sagar Bhai? How was the experience of Olympiad? I was unable to follow it because of my exams. Anmol, I would say it was one of the biggest sort of, it'll change the scene of chess in India. That is for sure. And even if we don't cash in right now, like everyone's saying we have to cash in on this and all, it's just that fact that we did this event in India shows that what magnitude is possible to host an event in chess. And so I think it's a big thing that has happened for Indian chess, and we were completely into it. Like, we were covering day in and day out. It was epic. Like, we enjoyed it so much. We worked really, really hard over there, and we really enjoyed. By the way, very nice moment in Pragg versus Magnus versus Anish game. The two bishops are powerful, but I have a question for you. If here rook takes a5, there's bishop b4. But if rook c1, I was just thinking, or let's say rook b1, defending this, what is the beautiful move that black can play here? Let's see. And it also makes use of the queen to b8 move. This next move by black. Can you find it? World of Wit, you are amazing. You are amazing. Also, Praful Sharma, Vishwanathan, Logesh 2K, Giridhar Venkatesan, Viraj, Dynamic Chess. Very good. Very good. So many people of you have found this move. F5. What a move this is. And Captain Gaming, PL Kanti Ghosh and Amit Abad. You can't take Oppasaw because you lose the queen. That's why. This is hanging. So f4 played here in the Pragg game. Meanwhile, Magnus grinding down Anish with the black pieces. If he manages to beat Anish with black, Anish will be in trouble. He goes bishop to g7. The game is like, Pragg is going here, Firuja is going here. Both are going back and forth. Right now, Pragg has got a nice sort of position, but he would be a little bit afraid of, expanding it further. Firuja has a nice setup as well, but lacks space. So it's getting intense now. It is definitely getting intense. Yes. Gukesh is playing in Turkish league with Nadirbek. A queen d3 played by Pragg. Pragg doesn't want to go instantly for some things like, let's say, f5 or stuff, because it weakens the position. Instead, he plays queen to d3. Yeah, I think b5 would be a very cool move here for black. Just getting space, threatening b4, c5, b4. You take ab, then maybe ab. So looks good. Plays his queen to c7. Also, guys, look at this. looking down at the queen, at the king on this diagonal, and could become something potentially huge. Let's quickly check what Magnus is up to against Anish. Big trouble for Anish Giri. There you can see he's in trouble. He cannot move his rook because e2 will fall. And if he plays knight c3, the easiest is to take, and then maybe just bishop d5, a pawn pushing through, c3 is weak. Black is doing very well. Will you cover Turkish League? I don't think so. I don't think I will cover it, but I'll cover these games. Maybe I'll review them next day. Meanwhile, we are closing in on the 992 mark. So guys, please do subscribe. We want to reach till 1 million. So Pragnananda is taking on Firuja here. After 2 games, the score is 1-1. Three minutes 55 seconds for Firuja. Rook f1 played by Pragnananda. Pragg wants to bring his other rook to e8, e1, and then maybe push something in the center. But what about here? Putting pressure again on e4. I think this might be the move that Firuja will play. Rook a e8, and I think Pragg has something up his sleeves like f5 there. That's what maybe he wants to play. But not to forget that here is a move that is very powerful, knight e5. Because if bishop e5, there is rook e5. Otherwise, if you move your queen, let's say queen d2, then after rook e7, black is doing very well. His knights are well positioned. Bishop is excellent. So, whoa, he goes f5. This is, I think, dangerous things. By the way, he went a6 here. He didn't play rook a8. He went a6. Now f5 and knight e5 must be played at all costs. If you do anything else, like let's say if you go rook e7, then after fe, fg, fg, knight h4, the knight is attacking here. It looks dangerous. And knight e5 played by Firuja. He's playing some great chess here. Pragnananda will have to play really well if he wants to beat Firuja here. Where to move the queen is the question. Queen d2 or bishop takes e5 or bishop b6. So interesting. Where does Pragg move his queen is the question. It takes. I like black's position now because Pragg took and what, knight h4. He's looking here, but he's alone. The knight is alone. If after king h7, not so easy. 3 minutes for Ali Reza, 2 minutes for Pragnananda. Water in my house coming to an end. King h7 played, knight goes back to f3. It's looking bad for Pragg slowly. I think Firuja's tactics are working. You see, a player in order to become a world-class GM like Firuja, who's played the candidates, it's not only about the play, yeah, it's also about the fact that how do you decode your opponent? What do you think about him? How much do you think that you can push? Like for example, e5 here does not work because of knight g4 check and knight takes e5. Okay, maybe knight e2, knight f4 could be a plan. That is possible. Look at this. After bishop b4, he went d5. And Magnus took on e1, knight d4, queen d3. And I think it's time to just throw in the towel. Mainly because this is hanging. Let's say you take here, then maybe queen d1 just does the trick. Because right now the rook cannot move. Yeah. So Magnus better here for sure. Meanwhile, knight e2 has been played by Pragnananda. Knight g4 check. King g2, knight e5. He wants to put his knight on e5 and he does it. He puts his knight there. If knight takes e5 now, makes a lot of sense. Knight e5 played. Pragnananda has 1 minute 18 seconds. Takes rook e5. Now, he goes rook f4, which is not the best move here. I think black's moves are easy. Rook e8. Maybe later h6, bishop h5, bishop h6. He plays rook e8. Bring the other rook here. I think that's the best move. And then he will go back. Rook e7 like here. And somehow this knight is not able to be in time to hit the rook on e5. So it seems like for now, black has this position under control. Jack Murphy says, Sagar, have you spoken to Vidit? He has been off social media after the Olympiad and we want to know when he is playing next. So I think Vidit took some time off. Yeah, and by the way, there you can see Magnus has won with a very nice finish there. So what happened was after here, queen d3, rook e1, bishop d5, came a check, king h8, knight d5, and here queen d2, nice move played. Very important move perhaps here, maybe not. Queen d2, rook d1, rook c1. He was trying to hold things down together, but in came queen e1 check, and after take. What a nice finish. Take, beautiful checkmate. So Magnus beats Anish. The score is 2-1 now in the favor of Magnus Carlsen. Anish must strike back in the next game, but it's going to be very tough. Meanwhile, Alireza Firuja versus Pragg all of a sudden has started to go really wrong for Pragnananda. Rook e8, rook f1, rook e7, b4, d5, knight to c3, queen d6, rook f3. Maybe if you take here, his idea is e takes d5. I don't think that's what's going to happen. How does black continue now? Black is completely winning position. I think d4, then queen b4. But we've seen that it's not so easy to win winning positions. Let's just move this up a little bit so that I can stand and commentate. Yeah. So rook f3 played here by Pragg, and Firuja actually thinking whether he can take on e4 or not. But he cannot because his queen would be hanging. So that's not done. What does now? Oh, he played something. He played what? Not queen takes b4. He went queen e6. Okay. ED, CD, knight D1. Okay. I think what he wants to do is he wants to play his knight to F2, keep the knight close to the king. That's what it's all about. Sudhindra Rao says, I have ordered chessboard on 25th July, but today it's showing awaiting processing. Please help. Order number is Sudhindra Rao. By tomorrow, we'll sort this out. And I'm very sorry for the delay. I think there has been some kind of a thing that has gone wrong. So please bear with us, and I'm very sorry for this order. We'll make sure that it is shipped to you as soon as possible. So knight d1, rook e2, knight f2, d4 has been played. And queen to b3. So Pragg, if he takes cb3, maybe Pragg is back in the game because the knight can later on come there. But queen c6 is a brilliant move, which Firuja finds. Pinning here, and if you play king h2, I think he'll just put his rook here and then attack here. If you take here, there is take, and the knight is pinned. Wow, it's a nice finish. He plays h4, but now rook e3 is what Pragg seems to have missed. And I think when Firuja will play it, Pragg will have to resign. Sorry. Jack Murphy says, do you know Vidit will play next? If you can ask him on behalf of all of us, we would be grateful. Sure, Jack Murphy, I'll ask him. I think he was looking at some events which he can play. But as I said, maybe Dubai Open could be one. One of the main things that Vidit would love, I think, during the next phase is to gain rating. And I think the main way in which you can gain rating is to play classical events only, because that's how you can increase your rating. h4 has been played here by Pragg, and I don't see any defense to rook e3. If you move your queen away, let's say here, and then here, and then let's say here, then here, and then the other rook here, it looks horrible. Oh, he plays it, he finds it. So h5, queen d3, rook e3. He plays it now. Queen d1. Oh, and Firuja seems to have blundered something, because now Pragg is back in the game. He was completely lost. If he had taken with the rook here, but he takes with the queen, Pragg can now take, and finds the best move, rook f7. Pragg is back in with a chance, rook b7. There you can see a slight nod by sort of shaking the head by Firuja. All of a sudden, a chance has arisen for Pragnananda. And now, after king h6, rook takes b7, the game is now equal. Wow. Wow. From a completely losing position, Pragg has managed rook e2 Guys, this can get nasty for Firuja, king f1. And then put the knight on d3. He goes rook d7 to stop d3. Yeah, Pragg never gives up. d3, and now can we take it? If we take it, what's his plan? He takes it. Rook b2, okay. Rook f4. Goes rook d7. Okay, rook takes b4 will be played. And then maybe rook g7. What's the plan there? Because then if the bishop moves away, then rook h7 mate. He goes rook d2. Once again, how was this working out? Rook here. Ooh, you have to find this move. And after take. Oof. Epic. But he goes rook d2. Now Pragg can take. Look at Pragg there. Pragg's focus. If someone wants to make a commercial for focus, it has to be this one. Pragg now. King f1. Good move. Good move. Pragg suddenly pawn up. Firuja was totally winning. I think Alireza a little bit not on the top of his game right now. Can we go knight d3? Looks good. I mean, just put the knight here. That looks very nice. He goes knight d3. Good move. And now the move is bishop c3 perhaps. Goes g5. Okay. I think Firuja doing the smart thing, trying to liquidate as many pawns as he can, because when behind in material, exchange pawns. When ahead in material, exchange pieces. That's how it is. King e1 looks natural just to hit the rook there. Knight to c5. And now this is hanging. GH. Why exchange pawns when down in material? Suhail. Well, generally, like if you keep exchanging pawns at some time, some of the end games, like rook bishop versus rook, is a draw. So even if you're a piece down, if you can exchange down all the pawns, it's a draw. So even if you have an extra knight, you cannot mate. Extra bishop cannot mate. So all these things. Rook c2 only move, yeah, that he'll play. Because otherwise white's rook goes in. SS, thank you for becoming supporter of Indian chess. This is a draw now. It's a draw now because here you will take, he'll take here. You're a pawn up as Pragg, but it's not easy. Okay, Pragg now really wants to win. You know, he could have taken on a6, but after rook c5, so he plays rook c6. And now rook c4, he goes up with his king. No, sorry, he first plays king f7, king d2. Maybe a check, then here and take this. Okay, let's see. Rook h4 should be played now. Pragg pressing hard, yeah, here. Pragg wants to win. And this is what I love about these youngsters. sometimes when they are losing and then they are able to save the game, they don't just go for a draw. Then they are looking for their opportunities, and that's what Pragg is doing here. He's brought his king up, and the margin of error is narrowing down for Firuja. I think rook a6, but then he'll push. Yeah, this is a draw now. Actually, it's an easy one. Because h4, if rook here, rook takes, and then yes, you will win back this pawn, but Keshav Singh says, how do players realize that they have reached their maximum achievable rating? How do players hyped up in the route, especially example Firuja, usually cope with it? I think it's more like if something you have done and you have really tried your hardest and you reached certain rating, and then after this point you are no longer ready to put in that much amount of hard work which helped you to stay there, then you know you reached your peak. Like let's say for example say Anand, he has played 5 world championship matches, he's prepared really hard for them, and now when he is thinking about it, let's say he doesn't feel that he can play again for a world championship match because it was just too much work, too much effort. You can say that at least in that sense he will never play it again. He's reached his peak over there in world championship. Apart from world championship, I mean, he can continue to gain rating, but at least in world championships that's the peak. So I think it's more about how much effort it takes, whether you are ready to put that in again or not. Look at the focus now, guys. Look at Pragg's focus. It's amazing. King is, oh, blunder by Firuja. King b7. King b7 is the winning move. If rook takes c6. Look at Pragg there. He's like, what? Did he just give me a chance? By the way, not c6 because of king c7. In king b7, if you give a check, there is rook b6. It's just winning. It's just winning. Pragg can win this. Come on, Pragg. You can find it. You can find it. King b7. Let's go. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. Can Pragg find this move? King b7. Can 10, 9, 8, 6. And he finds it. Yes. King b7 found by Pragnananda. Check. Rook को बीच में लेके आइए. Let's get the rook in between. He plays it. Firuja shaking his head. He's blundered. He knows he's blundered. Pragg has won this. c6. Let's go. Even a6 wins. c6, king d6, c7. No, if c7, king d7. Let's go a6. Oops. c7, king d7 is a draw. So don't push c7. Just go a6. Pragg has 10 seconds to decide whether to push c7 or a6. c7, king d7, he knows it's a draw. So he plays rook b2. Good move. Because if you take rook takes c6, there is rook d2 check. So h3, a6, and it's time for game over here, guys. Oh, 1 minute. What about h2? Because if you take rook takes, I want to give you a check. And then only move is here. And Pragg has won. Firuja there shaking his head. Has Pragg won? No, not one yet. Not one. But it looked like something happened there. Firuja is so upset. And he has 4 seconds. He plays h2. Okay, Pragg has to take. Maybe first an intermediate check. Pragg. Check and then take it. I think he gives a check. King c5, rook h2. And there you see. Pragg knows he's winning. Firuja knows he's losing. King c7. Game over, guys. Wow, resigns. Pragnananda wins the game. No expression on his face. He's like, I still have some work to do. Last round left, guys. Pragg in with the win from a completely losing position. Can't believe that here. He was just lost. Look at this pin here. Look at the attack here. Here pin. Sab kuch har raha hai wo. He was just completely lost. Queen d1 and now queen c2. What a mistake by Firuja. I mean, there were many ways to win. Rook takes c2 was one. And still nothing's moving for white. But he went queen c2. This allowed rook f7. Excellent move by Pragg. He found it. He's taking here. I mean, small lapse of concentration by Firuja, and it was enough. And in the end, it seemed like the game would end in a draw, like here. But look at this idea by Pragg. He did not take on a6. These are the little moves which help you to fight. And this would have been easier draw. But once Pragg kept this pawn and brought his king in, I mean, this is another nice move. And that helped him to really turn on the heat here. And rook a1 was the last mistake. Maybe it was not easy anymore because he was losing this pawn. But yeah, I mean, you could think about hanging on to this pawn. But again, there is rook b6, king b7 and pawn push. So actually, it's not so even clear. Maybe king c7 is the drawing move. But he went here. And Pragg found all the best moves now. It was quite simple. And with this, Pragnananda has managed to take the lead in this match. 2-1 is the score. Let's update the scorecard. And guys, please do like the stream. Do subscribe to this channel. This is really exciting stuff. Pragnananda getting the better of one of the best players in the world, Firuja. And what about Aronian and Liam? It's still going on. Aronian and Liam is still going on. Duda and Neiman also going on. Pragg has won. And guys, a small request to everyone in the chat. If you are here and enjoying this commentary, please do think about subscribing. And also there's a link in the description and in the pinned chat. Please do try to download that and get your free crypto key there, because that will help you get a lot of benefits, different benefits. There's also a Discord link in the chat which you can join. It's FTX Crypto's chess related Discord group which you can join, and at the end of it, all the money that we will get will be used to support a chess player in need of finances. So do for sure try to support this. It's right now 1.5 lakh rupees, which is the amount that a talented player would get. Draw in Lei Kwong Liam and Aronian. That's a nice finish. Rooks are traded. 2-1, sorry, for Aronian. 2-1 for Carlson Giri. And Neiman needs to save, but he's worse already, so looks tough. I think Duda will just win in 3 games. Pragnananda versus Alireza. Final game, guys. Don't go away. It's coming in. Yeah, बहुत सही गेम था, मतलब it was such a cool game by Firuja. He played so well, but also Magnus actually beat quite easily. And by the way, till the game start, you can watch this game between Duda and Neiman. Meanwhile, Anish is in his chair, already there. Okay, Neiman is just losing. By the way, guys, I just yesterday received this book. When I opened the door, it had come via courier. It's called The Youngest Chess Grandmaster in the World at 12 years, 4 months, and 25 days. Abhimanyu Mishra. It's written by New in Chess, and it is a 200, no, how many pages? 200 pages, I think. 200 pages ka book written by this youngster. By the way, nice move here. If you take Rook A1 and check mate. So it seems like, yeah, he resigned here and Duda has managed to win. So he's won the match as well. Meanwhile, Anish Giri and Magnus Carlsen have started their game. Wow. Okay, let's get Magnus on the screen and let's get the people off the screen for now. Oh, and Anish needs to win at all costs. It's not going to be easy for Anish because d4, knight f6, knight f3, g6, Magnus. When he wants to draw with white pieces, it's not at all easy to win on demand. So, this book which I was talking about is really awesome. I'm going to read it more, but to just write it at this age, amazing. Amazing. E4 played here by Magnus in the center, and Anish really happy with his what he's got, because I mean he's got some kind of a King's Indian, but like a perk. Let's see. The next game will, ooh, knight h5. He wants this bishop. Wants this bishop. C3. It's a good imbalance to have. I think what Anish needs to do is he needs to believe in himself that he can beat Magnus. That's one of the most important things here. Very easy to say, very difficult to do, because once you are in that rut where you are, I mean, you know how strong your opponent is, you follow him, you know he's the world champion. But when you're playing against him, you have to give your, I mean, you have to believe that you can beat him. Otherwise, it's not easy, not easy. No matter how much winning position you get. Meanwhile, Prague and Firuja back on their chairs. Knight c4. Okay. Now Prague needs only a draw, yeah, in this game. And by the way, we have the same opening again. But how much time did Firuja get to prepare? I think nothing, literally nothing. But someone must have told him what to do now. In this last game, he had played d3. But now he does something else. Let's see. He goes d3. Now Pragg plays e5 once again. Pragg believing in his systems. e5. What should white do now? Either Duda won, no? So Duda 3-0, 3-0, right? Duda Neiman match is over. Last time, I think c3 and d4 was played. This time Firuja really needs to think well before making his moves, because Pragg is well prepared and he's not going to let it easy. 14 minutes 30%. b4. Wow, what a move. Firuja wants to win, plays b4 in the style of Benko Gambit. So after cb4, can you guess what Firuja most likely might play here? What's the move? a3. Yes, played a3. Nice move. So he's playing it like Benko Gambit here. As if you take, bishop comes out on this diagonal. Nice. Nice. Must win. And now Pragg is thinking, should I take here? Will it be risky? Should I push the pawn? Meanwhile, Anishiri now, after taking the bishop pair, has gone b6. He wants to play bishop b7, maybe castle. And it looks risky to castle when the h file is open. But when you have this bishop, which is kind of undisputed bishop, because white does not have that color bishop, it looks good for black to play in a sort of must-win game. But Magnus is better objectively. Let's see if Anish is able to gain something here. After a3 here by Firuja, Pragnananda is still thinking what to do. Oh, he takes. He takes. Pragg is like, okay, give me all the pawns. Because now bishop a3. Yeah, now this bishop is pretty good on this diagonal. Okay, knight e7 makes a lot of sense. Just putting the knight here on a rook square. Pragg is still thinking now. He hasn't played knight e7. I've seen Anish many times say on stream that winning on demand with Magnus is not easy. Like, you have to win. And I think he's taking a lot of pressure here. You can see there Magnus feeling good about his position. Anish not so happy. This move d5 is so cool. If you take back, but there's also knight f5. Vignesh says, can you play d4? But when? After this? Yeah, sure. d4 looks the most logical actually. He plays 97. He plays it. I think d4 incoming. Is you have to open up the position. You allow d6 and castles. Black is better. Even d6, c5. Have to open it. So let's go d4. Open the position as much as you can. Guys, how many of you in the chat have actually downloaded the app, like got the crypto key already here? How many of you? We have around 3,300. It's well past midnight. How many of you have done it? Not me, no, me, got it, me. I'm lazy to do so. Link not working. No, but people have downloaded, so link is working. Okay, few of you have done it. What key? The link in the description. No, there is no money, by the way, guys. It's just free. D4 played. I just want to understand. Chandrasekhar says downloaded the app. It's not opening. Why? Should open. You have to log in. All those who are below. D4 takes. Okay, knight takes. The main thing is, guys, देखो प्रज्ञानंदा को castle करना है कैसे तो. If he castles, he is fine. But then this knight is hanging. He can't castle so easily. And after knight d4, you want to play d6. Yeah, it looks good. Like c5 up next, if possible. If there's no knight b5, then should be good. Oh, meanwhile, Firuja going all out with e5. Now, Pragg can actually has only move now here. Sometimes when I stand and then I sit, my camera is yeah, I'm back. Now, guys, Pragg, look at him. He's just thinking like this. Can you find what's the good move for Pragg here? And kind of the only good move. Only move. Pragg, because his opponent has top d6. There is a good move. Can you find it? I'm sure you can. Let's go. How many of you? Yes, I love how many of you have found this move. c5. Arnav, Mikhail, Arush, World of Wit, Altamash, Rahul, Fasi, Pranav, Shreyas, and Chandramouli. Okay, you must go c5. That is an important move, stopping this bishop's activity. And I think he will play it. Yeah, that's what has happened. He's played his pawn to c3 now to hack open the position once again. And once again, Pragg has a decision to make. How many decisions can he take? How much can one man do? c3 is nice. Actually, Pragg should not worry about material and give it up. Because after takes, you can castle. Now, c5 pawn, this bishop is no longer active, and after castles, black is doing well. Yeah, you want to take here, you're not so sure, because after take here or here. So I don't think you want to take. Meanwhile, look at this opening played by Liam versus Aronian. Wow, look at this move by Pragnananda. Once again finds the best move here, keeping the position closed. What a nice move. Akshay Chordia says how to get the key. I have downloaded the app. So Akshay, once you download the app, go to what's the step? Something like NFTs. There is a button called NFT. You can claim your free NFT, and I think the what do you say? The code is for the free NFTs Crypto Cup 2022. But that comes just directly, I think, because you go through the link, you get it directly. Akshat, thank you so much for your super chat. Well, D3. The main thing is that in this particular case, when you go for this downloading this key, you get access to other things from the key. So for you, it's not a crypto as such, it's an NFT which gives you access to certain things. There's also a Discord server where you can get your things answered, and that link is in the description. For now, D3 has been played, and it's a very nice move because after you take, I'm just going to castle. I get my king castle, I'll put bishop d7. What I love about these youngsters is that at the right time they take the pawn, like here. At this point, they take the pawn, and at another moment, they give back the material. So they understand these little things about dynamism. Every move is important, not letting the knight develop to c3 so well, so well. I mean, Pragnananda has understood these little things so well. That's the reason why Pragg is very, very strong. Pragg is very sharp, very sharp. I agree. Rahul Sharma, you are right. But I think what Firuja is thinking is, can I go c4? And I don't need to win the material. I'll go knight c3 with the idea of knight d5 or knight b5. Let's look at Anish's game. Anish is just at almost in a lost position. Long castle in spite of pawn on a4 because the center is just falling apart. It's totally winning. Bishop g6 check incoming. De check. Ooh. I mean, these must-win games are huge stress, especially for a player like Anish. Oh, look at Firuja's move. Knight d2. And he's like, okay, my idea is to play knight e4 here or here. And knight to b3, attacking c5 pawn. I think this time Pragg once again has to take the right call and castle, giving up this pawn because after bishop takes c5, you can just go rook e8. And I think all will be good. This is the last game of the day, guys. Last game, at least in the um, regular time control. And he must castle. He can't defend this pawn. But push c5. That just activates this bishop so much more. Knight b3. Pragg is down to 8 minutes. Firuja has 9 minutes on the clock. Look at Pragg there. Meanwhile, Anish Giri under a lot of pressure. Also, Levon is draw is okay for Levon, and he's already better against Le Kwang Liam. So this might not so good day. Tanmay Madan says Sagar Bhai needs 2.5, 1.5, 3, 1 to sleep. Oh, nice. So he's castled bishop c5. Now he wants to take this. Let me think what move. One natural move is rook e8, which comes to mind. Rook f e8. Yeah, I don't see any other. Yeah, he plays rook f8. Nice. So the knight is defended. And now what next? Do you want to take here? Is white? Yeah, I think so. Guys, no, this last part where I was like this, I was thinking. I wasn't sleeping for sure. I might have slept before many times in on stream, but not this time. अरे कोई बिलीव ही नहीं करता है मेरे को लगता है कि I have an idea. A5 A4 is what I was thinking of. A5 idea is A4 bishop A6 some point. Is that the best move? No, that's not the best move. There are other better moves. One is bishop f3 and bishop e5. I think that is a very, very simple way of kind of. Sorry, queen takes f3, bishop e5. Ah, there's bishop e7. Rook e7, there is queen a8. Okay, I can't do that. But knight. And yeah, this is better. But okay, queen bishop takes f3 is not easy to play. The other move is knight f5. I think that's a good move. The devil says, imagine if Gukesh was fourth board on team 1. Imagine, so yeah, that is possible. But I think for now, what was the thing? I think Gukesh getting board 1 was excellent for his chess career. Now everyone knows him this after this performance. In fact, even when I meet people just who are not into chess, they know that Gukesh played really well. His name was all over. Pragg is thinking here. He has 6 minutes on the clock. He goes knight to f5, which is nice move. Nice move. Also putting pressure here. on the e5 pawn, threatening here, and then bishop f5, bishop e5. So good decision by Pragg once again. Knight f5, and now white to play. What does Firuja do here? Firuja is already a pawn down. No, actually the pawn has been recovered, but now Pragg has the bishop pair in the position. Guys, these specs are just too old. Oh, did Anish resign or what? Oh, Anish resigned. Anish lost very quickly here. King f8, f5, b4. He just lost. e7. And rook d8 coming up. So he resigns there. And that means Magnus wins 3-1. Now let's see if Pragg manages to hold here, or is it 2-2 and then we go into an Armageddon. Anish had his chance in the second game, I think. That's where he should have taken his chance. Yeah, Rahul Agrawal, that is true. I have to buy new specs for sure. Firuja, what are the moves that Firuja can play? One is bishop d6. The other one is look at the chat. Huh? Hi Sagar, how many rounds? Sagar is chess addict. NC6 in place of knight f5. Sagar shall listen to Bite Lamhe. Sagar, why don't you do laser operation? Sagar bhai, is that the best thing that happened to Indian chess? आपका एक्सपोजर कम कर दो सागर भाई. 9K to be 1 million strong, great. स्पेक्स ले ही रहे हो तो आपकी आंखें भी चेक कर लेना. I have the key. How will this be like with FTX Prague scholarship? हिशम, ये अलीरेजा किसी खलीफा जैसा नहीं. हाय सागर, हाउ मेनी राउंड्स लेफ्ट? थिंकिंग इज बिकमिंग एन एक्सक्यूज फॉर नैपिंग. ऐसे करके चैट कोई पढ़ेगा तो आदमी का दिमाग कितना थक जाएगा, सोचो. आप कभी सोचते नहीं, यू जस्ट टाइप. इफ यू रीड द चैट, पूरी दुनिया का कहानी लिखा रहता है उधर. फ्रॉम ठीक है, अभी इसको पढ़ते रहिए अपन. Hari Krishnan says, having seen these kids grown up in front of his eyes, I think Sagar has extra motivation to watch all their games. He won't sleep before this ends. Sure. I mean, it's not only for the kids. Even when other players play, I try to stay awake. At least all those who are Indians. G4 is very interesting move by Ali Reza. Ali Reza बोल रहा है कि भाई मैं अपना पोजीशन फुल एक्सपोज कर रहा हूँ, ठीक है, but I need a full point, so I have to do it. Otherwise simple moves में तो प्रग ऐसे ही खेल रहा है, तो प्रग ने मार दिया ये. If you take here, just come back with your bishop. But if he takes here, takes, then now knight h4 is the point. You get this square for your knight. So it's taken on f3. Firuja thinking whether he should take on f5 or take on f3. These are the two options here for him. Sushant. Thank you, Sushant, for a super chat. The queen, चलो मैंने मारा, knight इधर गया. Now this knight can it not be trapped? g5. Then knight comes here. Then this is weak. Interesting. Bishop d6, queen c6. Threatening knight f3. He takes with the queen, but this allows knight h4. It's an important move. Plays it. Pragg plays it. Pragg finding all the best moves in this game until now, I think. Also, guys, remember LPDO, yeah? This is a loose piece. Rook b8 some point can fall. Even queen b7 with the idea of a and b3, which would be very strong. So if this is slightly loose, this is also slightly loose, and black has all the chances in the world now to win this match. Firuja needs some superhuman effort to beat Pragg. Both are down to 4 minutes on the clock. Queen g3, now g5. I think Pragg has to go g5, but he's also thinking about queen b7. Because if you play here, my threat is knight f3. And also the other threat is that if you take here, I can take here. Oh, he goes g5 and then bd6. YouTube says, Sagar bhai, you're going to become viral in 2023. ठीक है. Queen c6 खेलना है. But now queen b7 also looks good. Attack here. Check. So queen b7 looks good. Queen c6 is also nice. Pranab Singh says, Sagar bhai, just for appreciation, you are the most respected after Anand in Indian chess for the audience. Pure love for you and your wonderful dedication. Thank you. But I think there are so many other players who are amazing. So many people in the chess world who are amazing. So, you know, my aim is to acquaint you with all of them. And so queen b7, the idea is check and also to attack here. This is the idea. YouTube says I'm in viral fever. Arey, top G. Oh, he goes knight c5, allowing knight f3 or what? Knight f3, don't go king g2, just double check. do you do here? Here, knight f3. No, I don't think Prague's going to give a check first. Can you go queen c6 just to improve the position? I think that's also possible. But then knight e4, the knight is improved. I think Prague has to decide whether he wants to give this check or not. I don't see the point of this check apart from, I mean, king h1 comes into this pin, but double check is not there, and yeah. 2 minutes 20 seconds for Prague. What does he do next, man? He wants to go and give a check here, but then king h1 and then the queen is still attacked. So maybe moving the queen makes a lot of sense. But then Pragg wants to find the best way. But Pragg, you have only 2 minutes. And he goes queen c6. Alireza finds 94. Good move. Blocking this diagonal. Also attacking here. Maybe a good idea now could be h6. Defending everything. The other plan could be bishop e5. Takes. Takes on e5. Wow. Bishop e5. Plan. Ah, rook e5 is there. If queen e5, then knight f3 check. So, oh, he takes on g5. Rook takes, but now queen takes h4. So now, if you see, both sides have 4 pawns each. And maybe the white king is slightly exposed because black king is... Black king is safe here. But how to continue? Maybe queen g6. Yeah, that seems like an idea. What is this? Rook g6. If for now Pragg doing it well, Pragg is actually leading the match with 2-1. And if he wins this, he will take today's match home. So rook g6. All sorts of threats in the position, yeah. Like for example, this is hanging. This is where I can go. Alireza has 2 minutes 30 seconds to decide how does he want to take advantage here. That is the question. Two minutes 10 seconds for Alireza. 1 minute 47 seconds for Pragnananda. Can Pragnananda hold this game or win it in order to win today's match against one of the best players in the world? They say he's the strongest junior, but I think he's the strongest in the world. Apart from Magnus, he was world number 2 at some point, which is just shows how good he is. Now, Queen G3 back. Can Prague start fighting for a advantage. Can he start pushing his extra pawn down the board? Think he can? Guys, what is Pragg thinking? Let's go Pragg. Pragg might be also thinking of rook c8. Just a very simple way to play. Goes h5. Oof. Pragg is like, yawking is weak. If you play h3, I'll take. And then maybe rook h6, rook h1 mate. Who knows? Goes g5. Closes the position. Okay, good move by Firuja. Firuja, look at his calmness. Yeah, he knows that he's in a must win. He's fighting hard. h4. Pawn sack by Pragg. Is it a good sack? Is it just to complicate the matters? I think the main point of this is to stop White from playing h4 and consolidating his position. I mean, h4. Queen takes. Queen c5. Wow, what a move, by the way. What a move. You can't play f4. You cannot support this g5 pawn with a piece. So king h1, preparing f4. And now check by Pragg. Pragg is like, come back. वापस आ जाओ. If you come back, he will play this again. He played check rook e4. Rook to e4. Well, idea of Firuja is to double and give a check, but for now it's pinned. So what does Pragg do now? Can Pragg go rook e8 here? Put more pressure. It looks good, f3. He plays rook e8. Wow. Man, I found this move half asleep. How about king g7 and rook h8, says Asim. Asim, that's also not a bad idea, Asim. King g7 with the idea of rook h8. Very cool. So, what just happened here? He went rook e8, f3 happened. He took, and queen takes. I mean, worst case scenario, like after take, rook takes. It'll be a tough fight, but I think it's a draw. Rook c5, take. So Firuja in deep trouble now because it's a mate here. He needs to win. Firuja needs to win, but the position is not supporting him. So what should he do? What should Firuja come up with? Is there any move here? He exchanges rook a7, now rook c5. Pragg finding all the best moves. Once again, never discount rook end games. Anything can happen. White is a pawn up. Look at Pragg. He knows that the win is so close. He's super focused. Duda on the other, Firuja on the other hand knows that this position is very difficult to win. But let's see how Firuja tries to push king f8. g4. Thinking, can he not go from f8? like this, but he wanted to go from this side. If he can play f5 takes and exchange it off, it's a draw. So f5 takes rook f3. Now to defend this pawn, because the h pawn you can't do much, so rook g5, king h6, rook g6, king h5. I think this might be also another way to draw. Like you go f5, ef, rook f3, g5, king g6. Pragg is looking at the cleanest way to equalize, sort of cleanest. What's the cleanest way? Ooh, he plays f5. भाई भाई सच में यार नींद में मैं अच्छा खेलता हूँ. Then awake. Need to sleep. The best chess player in my sleep. Rook g6 check. Otherwise rook f5 draw. Rook g6. King h7. Oh, what happened? He played h4. Pragg gave a check. Instead of, yeah, he gave a check. Took here. It's just a draw, yeah. This is a simple draw. Pragg will hold it, and Pragg will beat Firuja. Wow. Check. What is the point of check? कि मतलब check देते ही रहना है. मैं आ जाओ check. 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 Check has been played. Check. King here and then play rook. Firuja knows he's lost the match. Pragg knows he's won the match. Still trying that last trick. I think Firuja wants. King c6, but now rook here. F7, rook f1, king g7, king f6. Okay, draw. Draw. Pragnananda beats Firuja in the overall match with this draw. What a match by Pragg. Amazing chess. He's beaten Firuja 2.5, 1.5. What a day. What a day. Amazing. First game, Pragg played really well. Second game, Firuja came back. Third game, Firuja was winning, but Pragg managed to win. And finally, the last game is when Pragg manages to hold. And with that, 2.5, 1.5 in the favor of Pragg. And Carlson won. So Magnus wins against Anish. Neiman lost to Duda. And Aronian, Liam, they will draw this. Sure, Aronian should be able to draw. So maybe Aronian wins 2.5, 1.5. That's how it is, guys. Thank you all for following. Tomorrow will be another day. We'll come better prepared. But please make sure that you download the link, click on the link in the description, and try to get yourself the free crypto key so that you can participate, get a lot of perks at the same time, support a young, talented chess player. And now I think Prague won this match 2.5, 1.5. So I'll end this today's stream, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care before I go to sleep on stream. Take care. Bye bye, guys. Thank you all for staying back. And thank you all for supporting. Thank you all for everything. Bye bye.